All right. Hello, everyone. We are back at it again with some more detecting police work, being a police chief specifically. But yes, we're going to be playing more This Is the Police. Since I have not played it in it's been a couple days. It's been 4 days, I think. But yeah, we're going to play it. Hold on. Need you to not do Fortnite because that thing is not there. This is here. There.
Before I go shaking my tits for the press,
Yes.
I'd like to go see how the profession.
Yes, you and your tit shaking. Continue. Day 62. Mayor Rogers displeased with his police department, police academy student selling cocaine. Mayor Rogers, I will bring order to the police station. Lovely.
All the information about Laura, just like you asked.
Mr. Boyd, keep your voice down. Someone could be listening.
I want them to.
Oh, I'm sorry, Emma. It's my first time doing something like this. Here's the envelope. Everything's in there.
Fine. Mr. Boyd, please write for Mr. Fry on this envelope and drop it in the mailbox across the street.
What? I don't want this handled like it's some kind of game.
Mr. Boyd, those are the rules. Now please lower your voice.
Fine. Okay, Emma. I'll put this envelope in the mailbox across the street, just like you said.
He's totally expecting someone to hear.
Mr. Fry's gonna get an envelope out of the mailbox.
Talking to yourself, Mr. Boyd? And we thought we'd have to catch you at the police station. But it turns out Jack Boyd has come down to meet us personally. Do you know why we're here, Mr. Boyd?
No, Shafi, I don't.
I don't even know who you are.
My name is Eugene Chaffee.
Chaffee.
I'm a businessman. Rather, a restaurateur. Although I usually tell everyone I'm a businessman. Which sounds better? Businessman or restaurateur?
Businessman.
I think I've heard of you. You have a restaurant and a slaughterhouse. And you serve refried veal steaks.
Well, refried veal steaks isn't my only business, but perhaps it's what I'm best known for. I thought it was time we meet Mr. Boyd, and my friend here. I believe you're already acquainted. His name is Troy Starr.
Never heard of him. So what do you want, Mr. Chaffee? Looking for a spokesman for your beef products? I recently changed my image and my hair.
Eugene and I really want to help you, Mr. Boyd. Although after our phone call, I've had my doubts. I was making love to my wife, and you called me and told me to fuck myself.
Yes.
That kind of behavior is rude and inappropriate, Mr. Boyd.
I didn't mean to offend you, Mr. Starr. Just thumbing my nose at that prick mayor of ours. You keep making love to your wife, or did I ruin the mood?
There's a nice cafe around the corner. Spare us a couple of minutes of your time, Mr. Boyd.
I love our protagonist so
Lately, I've
much.
been so busy that I rarely get to sit and relax in such a nice place. And with such interesting company.
Get to the point, Mr. Chaffee. I'm busy too. In fact, I think I hear some teenagers next door robbing and raping an old woman. Maybe she's your aunt.
You see, Mr. Boyd.
Good morning. What do you want?
A big mug of beer.
We don't serve big mugs of beer.
Then a small mug of beer.
We don't have beer in any size glasses. This is a family restaurant. Moms and dads come with small children. I can bring you a lollipop to suck on.
Monica, where's your famous charm? Bring the gentleman a beer. I'm sure you've got a bottle under the counter.
Oh my goodness.
Check between the dead cats and the dried heads of your ex-boyfriends. This man, by the way, is your police chief.
Don't be silly. The police chief has a bald spot the size of a toilet seat.
So, as I was...
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, Eugene. It's Rogers. Probably forgot how to wipe his ass.
When you're 82, Troy, you'll probably forget you need to wipe your ass at all. But very well, run along. We can continue without you. So, Mr. Boyd.
Yes, hello.
As you may already know, the official job of my old friend Mr. Starr is to cause trouble for you. But believe me, it's not out of malice.
How is that
It's
so?
to maintain his cover at City Hall. But to somewhat balance out this trouble, I've decided to help you out. Every day, pay close attention to your morning newspaper, Mr. Boyd.
Uh-huh.
You'll find messages hidden among the pages.
Oh, boy.
Simple notes, but make no mistake, the information you'll find there is extremely useful. You see, Troy Star isn't my only spy.
Uh-huh.
That's it, Mr. Boyd. I told you it would only take a couple of minutes. I wouldn't want to disturb you while you're enjoying your drink. Keep in touch, my dear little cupcake. Oh, yes, I'm quite good at puns.
Oh, I can tell we're gonna get along just fine, aren't we?
Never imagined what meeting Robespierre would be like.
Oh, he's
But
Pierre.
I certainly
Okay.
didn't figure the first thing he'd do was buy me a drink. Getting them to serve a beer at a family cafe? And this Robespierre has some strange superpowers. Strange, but not entirely useless.
Hmm. Okay. Today they're offering free. No. No. All right. Everyone is looking in pretty good shape so far. Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. Oh yeah. All right. No, we did that already. Fire in the Brain by Bob Barnard and Friends. YouTube certainly loves claiming this part of the game, that's for sure. But whatever, can't be helped. Alright, let's do this. And already we've got a theft at a construction site. Elderly security guard Robert Childress saw 6 people break through a hole in the fence around a construction yard, climb onto the site, and start filling up a cart with bricks. At first, the guard was only worried about the stolen building materials, but when the thieves started climbing into the more dangerous construction areas, he began to fear for their lives. These idiots are going to get themselves killed. You gotta hurry. I don't want to. Sanu. Song died. That's for no. Song's right here. Sanu and Song. Flores. Percy. Revik Jorgensen. Go. I need at least 3 people in case something like that pops up. Hold on. Let's see if our dear compatriots can get done with their thing quickly. One of the suspects was running around and almost fell down an elevator shaft. He's standing right next to the edge and there's terror in their eyes. Easy, kid. It's a long way down. Thank goodness. Oh, lovely. Give me just a couple more seconds. Alright, robbery. A young man who has just been robbed called in a report. He came through the gate with a knife and demanded my wallet. I tried to run, but he caught me and pushed me to the ground. In addition to the wallet, he took my watch, shoes, and even my belt. My mother gave that to me. Alright, Percy. Flores. White. Drug possession. Eleanor Compton went to wash her hands before eating, but wandered into the cafe's kitchen by mistake. I looked around and saw several bags of white powder. I know cocaine a mile away. I watch TV. This is gonna be flour. So Bailey, Song, Jorgensen. Go. This is just gonna be flour. It's gonna be a false report. Dead bodies. Mr. Boyd, you don't know me, and I suppose that's just as well. As for what I do, you probably wouldn't approve. So I won't trouble you with any unnecessary details and get straight to the point. For one very specific, let's call it an operation, I need 3 dead police officers, 1 female and 2 male. Race and age do not matter. I'll return in a couple days to collect the bodies. I wouldn't want them decomposing. To start decomposing. What? No. Hold on. Let's turn the music down a wee bit. Goodness, it's already at 10. All right. There. That's much more manageable. Felt like I was trying to speak up over it. Oh, lovely, a bomb. An animal assault. All right, have it. Yeah, I figured. How'd the robbery go, boys? A man just called in. His voice was high-pitched and he sounded hysterical. Hello, police. Some kind of beast broke into my apartment and it's running all over everywhere. God, one bite from this thing and I'm dead. Hurry. I don't think it's going to be anything major, but just in case. Sanu, Bailey, Song, Revik. Revik, go. Now what's this about a homicide? An unidentified man who was unable to pay at the checkout reacted by killing the cashier, then the security guard, and fled the scene. Wolf. And then we'll have Armstrong on this too. How are we on investigations anyway? Homicide. Right. I was waiting on more things for that. For all those, actually. Okay. A rape. Alright, lovely. Cynthia Jason filed a complaint against a workman at her building. It appears he's been very vulgar and follows her around. I've never seen such a horrible jerk punish him. Okay, sure. Good enough for me. Alright, White, you need to see you need to see how the police work. How the animal assault go. It was a large wasp. Yeah, I figured it wasn't anything serious. The investigation has started. That's a very long investigation. 1111. Drug manufacturing and... Oh boy, hold on. Hold on, let me get everybody back here. How'd the rape go? Maintenance worker Billy Sue, whose behavior Cynthia Jackson complained about, had only whistled as the girl passed by. Still not great, but, you know, not as bad as rape. Alright, drug manufacturing. According to an anonymous source, a house registered to Ernest Franklin is being used to produce and store large quantity of drugs. Mr. Franklin has a record a mile long, including illegal weapons and drug charges. The last time we had him in here, he just opened fire on some teenagers for climbing onto his yard to retrieve a baseball. Alright, Sanu. Just everyone. Everyone. You're all going. And the paddy wagon. Oh, lovely. Sort of. Okay. Oh, boy. Alright. A woman called in, speaking in awestruck praise. I hear him from my wall, the trumpeting of angels. Oh, the Lord comes. Behold his glory. The television was right. Let's get her to calm down. Bring the... Don't bring the SWAT. Don't bring the SWAT. Part of me wants to bring in the SWAT, but I'm not going to. Well... Can't do that. Kind of in the middle of a large operation here. Okay! Can't do that, I'm afraid. Sorry. How'd it go, boys? Okay. Thank goodness. A ficus. Yeah, I'll have the moth... Actually, no. It's just a ficus. Bring it in. Wasn't Trumpeting Angels appearing out of nowhere as a music school student in the next apartment rehearsing on the tuba? Yeah, I mean, yeah. I figured she was crazy, but I thought the disorderly conduct was coming from her specifically. Not whatever she was claiming. Public indecency at the King Louis nightclub. Alright, sure. The club bouncer says they've detained a weird guy who took off his clothes and started molesting girls on the dance floor. Come pick this idiot up and pull him off. Bailey, you do it. New frames. New frames. New frames. Alright. Let's go see this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Alright, let me take... Actually, I don't need a drink quite yet. Alright. Drug sales. Club patrons found a man lying unconscious in the bathroom due to an apparent drug overdose. Okay. Bates, the bartender, saw a little fella in a white jacket. Okay. He ordered the cherry juice, drank at the bar, and then went to the bathroom with some bearded guy. I thought they were just up for a little tickle. You see a lot of that these days, but when the other folks found the bearded guy with his nose in the toilet, I knew the guy in the jacket was up to no good. Alright. Cherry juice. That'd be this. The man had suffered a heart attack brought on by cocaine use. He lost consciousness, fell down, and hit his head. The man was rushed to intensive care. His condition is serious, but stable. One of the boobs has a... Oh, goodness. Hold on. Sneeze is coming on, I think. No. No, it's not. Okay. One of the boobs had a broken toilet, and on the floor beneath was an empty bag of cocaine sitting in a pool of blood. Oh, come on, you little git. Come on. Get out. Get out, little sneeze. Mr. Gilliam, the bum. I saw a kid in a silly white jacket running out of the club, ran like the devils were after him. Wish I had whatever he was on. Oh, the bearded man was on the... Yeah, okay. It was the bearded man who did the drug sale. I was doing my eyes at the bathroom mirror when I heard a terrible roar on the other side of the wall. Me and my friend went to see what happened and found a drug addict lying on the floor. Of course, we called an ambulance, but it might be better if he didn't make it. These smelly druggies only stink up the air of our beautiful planet. All right, man. Sure. Not entirely, but this is what we got so far on that. All right. The hit and run. I mean, nothing really much on that, unfortunately. Armed robbery. All right. Oh, yeah, and this is for the gang, too, so this will be interesting. All right. Armed robbery. The bikers, headed by Anton Tretyakov, robbed a jewelry van and killed a guard. Some jewelry was being transported in a black van. The side of the van was decorated with the Diamond Protection Security Agency logo. Don't have anything like that. There was one security guard armed with a pistol. Appears to be correct. Probably put that there. Oh, yeah, there it is, actually. There were 3 bikers armed with submachine guns. That only has 1. And Anton Tretyakov and his associates were traveling on bikes painted with camouflage colors. Okay. At the time of the robbery, the van was passing a few cars. The driver of these vehicles reported that the first biker jumped the median and went straight for the van head-on like a suicidal madman. The van tried to avoid a collision and went off the road and overturned. The robbers took everything of value from it and were able to leave when a bloody guard emerged from the van's cab and opened fire. The bikers emptied their weapons at him and fled. That's a pistol, not a submachine gun. Okay, still not enough, and then still not enough on that either. Okay. How'd the public indecency go? Good. I knew I could trust you, Bailey. End the day. How's Shift A looking? Shift A's looking pretty good, all things considered, so I think you'll be fine. It's a Sunday. City Hall. Up 1, 2 negative. Mafia, 3 up. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Okay. Senior citizens empty pharmacies across. Freeburg abandons drinking fountains. Bike ride in the city center. So the Mafia really likes me. City Hall, not so much. And we don't know about the police station. Okay, that's fine. I mean, considering I didn't I'm too tired. I can hardly walk straight. Yes. Drank too much. I don't think I can hold it. Yes, but come tomorrow. Ooh, what's this one? Oh, we did Fire in the Brain already. White Russian by Stan Zeller. Alright. For share. I will take everything. Okay, can't do anything with them yet. I need to raise my salary is what I need to do. Disorderly conduct at the city center. A bus driver just called in reporting that a group of teenagers were running down the street throwing stones at the shop windows. The man had told him to stop, but for his troubles, he was struck in the head by a rock. Alright. Kennedy. Griffith. Cintron. Go. Oh, man. Alright. Situation's more serious. Alright, Butch Stokes, go. It's nearby, so I don't mind sending in the recommended amount of troops for it, even though I don't think it's necessary. Theft, lovely. Alright, give it time. How'd the disorderly conduct go, guys? Yep, Yeah, I feared as much. You guys are too good to let some punks take you down like that. Alright, theft. Some items went missing at the home of Veronica Long, items worth over $10,000. A friend and I were sitting together in the evening drinking wine, and on a lark, Clara said we should try on my jewels. We had fun putting on rings and necklaces, trying different things together. And then we set everything back in the box. My friend went home and I decided to look at my jewelry one more time. Then I noticed 4 rings were missing. I was literally wearing them an hour ago. They are very expensive and have been in my family for generations. Did she forget to put them away? Whatever. Fine. Butch, Cintron, Griffith. Oh boy, a suicide threat at the Sophocles Theater of Drama. The theater director called in reporting that one of the young dancers had locked herself in her dressing room and wouldn't respond to knocks at the door. I don't have the strength to break down the door, and I'm afraid the girl might have done something to herself. She was very upset to learn that she won't be among the principal cast in the upcoming premiere. I don't think that would cause for a suicide threat, but sure, whatever. Alright, you two go. Oh no. The police have arrived at Clara Long's residence. Her husband opened the door. She shot a look at the police and ran down the hallway, but soon returned and sat on the sofa. Ask for tea. Calmly interrogate. 9/11. There we go. Jewelry. We'll have the mafia sell it. Smuggling at the port. Alright, give me a tick. Let's get some of these guys home first. Now the suicide threat. Our officers broke down the door and found the dancer had simply fallen asleep? Oh, that's wild. Alright. Okay, yeah. Okay. Port officers opened a container instead of cement. As specified in the documents, they found boxes of very rare and expensive alcohol. Soon after, a SUV approached the place and 3 armed men got out. Screams and gunshots were heard. Everyone, including the SWAT, including the paddy wagon, you're all... Actually... Griffith, yeah, you two. Almost everyone, just in case. For that exact reason. Guards at the jewelry store detained a man who had quietly pocketed a necklace and several gold rings. This scumbag is acting all offended and refuses to turn out his pockets, said the store's head of security. Come and sort this out yourself. No, I believe in you guys. I believe in you guys. How'd it go? Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Yes, I knew it. Found alcohol. Let the mafia sell it. The smugglers aren't gonna need it anymore. Oh boy. The suspect is standing confidently in front of the guards. He cites the Bible and the Constitution and demands that he be released immediately. He won't agree to be searched under any circumstances. You don't have the right, Fuzz. Then we'll throw you in the slammer and we'll tell you all your new rights. 9/11 has been completed. Armed robbery, that's not good. An obese woman wearing a bunny mask entered a boutique and told the saleswoman to put all the money from the register into a sports bag. When the clerk laughed, the woman wearing the mask pulled out a gun and fired it into the air. Another customer at the store whispered from the dressing room, besides the money, she also wanted a dress size XL. Givens, Griffith, Butch, Stokes, Cintron. We're not getting the SWAT for this one, it's just a single person. And run. 3 new frames. Okay. Still not what I need. 3 new frames for the homicide. Okay. How'd it go, lads? That's what I like to see. End the day. Yeah, we should be fine. What do we got? Okay. A watched pot never boils. Yeah, okay. Freeburg hockey team on strike. 3 months no pay. Garbage collection fee increases 25%. Christ icon discovered in foundation of Buddhist temple. That's fascinating. That's real fascinating, that one. Hey.
What's this, Martin? Think that'll cover breakfast?
Good Lord, Jack. You should knock.
No.
Don't worry, Martin. I don't care what kind of business you're up to. Although on second thought, scratch that. I'm very interested in your business. In fact, that's why I'm here. You have a lot of connections?
Depends on what you need.
I want to keep my job.
Yeah.
I've got another 5 years in me, at least. I want to prove my dismissal is illegal. You know someone who can help?
Jack, are you sure you want to get involved in this fight?
Yes.
Martin, let's not,
Got yourself a new toy?
Oh, you noticed, Martin. Just like a teenager. Always on the move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hello. Is this Mr. Boyd?
Last I checked, who's this? And where did you get my personal number?
When you work at the prosecutor's office, it's not too hard to find someone's phone number.
That's fair.
Prosecutor's office? Just a second. Martin, out. I need to take this.
This is my office.
But Jack, it's my office. Okay, I understand. I'll go grab an ice cream. As for your little problem, Jack, I think we can work something out. Give me a couple of weeks.
Weeks?
Jack, what you're asking is...
Yeah, okay, I get it. Now get out already. I'm sorry, what did you say your name was?
My name is Lana Berman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the deputy prosecutor of Freeburg. Well, one of the deputies. Not even the first deputy, to tell you the truth.
How can I help you, Miss Berman?
I don't know how to say this, Mr. Boyd. You see, Mr. Boyd, I'm in line to be the next prosecutor of Freeburg, and
Uh-huh.
apparently that's happening quite soon.
Yeah.
Soon? Shia Broom was just re-elected for a new term.
Yes, but she'll be resigning in February. She's suffering from a heart condition, so she's chosen a replacement to carry out her term, and she chose me. You have no idea of the scandal, Mr. Boyd. I've only been at the prosecutor's office for half a year, and she chose me. It's incredible.
I mean, hey, good for you.
That really is unbelievable, Miss Berman. But what's it got to do with me?
Yeah.
Well, I understand how this call would seem strange to you, Mr. Boyd, but Mrs. Broom said she said that you have a lot going on, but you're the most honest official in the city.
I mean,
and if
sure.
I really want to change the city for the better, and I swear that's what I want, then I should meet you.
I'm afraid Mrs. Broom was exaggerating.
Oh, believe me, Mr. Boyd, Mrs. Broom is not one to exaggerate. I'm sorry, Mr. Boyd, I need to run. Do you mind if I call you later?
Do I mind? Let me think. No, I don't mind, Miss Berman.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd.
Aw. A dynamic duo with a prosecutor and the chief of police. Together they will rid the city of the mafia. But of course, it's not going to be that easy, I'm afraid. Stripes! Song, you've been doing way too good for too long for me not to give you a badge. Catalog. I'm gonna buy all of these. Including the ones that'll be coming out soon. Yes, I'm aware. Alright. We did right. White Russian. Whiskey Tinged by Wilford Fortenberry. Race. Yes. Fight. Alright. Noise from a garbage truck woke up a vagabond who was sleeping on a nearby bench. The homeless man became angry and went to scold the truck's driver. A fight soon erupted. Alright. Percy, Bailey, quiet. I need a boost up. Oh my goodness. Ron, thank you for the raid. Green tea slime raid, baby. Let's go. Thank you very much for the raid, Grunt. Ooh, how'd the fight go? Fender caught, officers unharmed. Good. Also, she says 66. Darn it. Yep. But alright, according to Zephyr, I must do the Skeletor voice. Yes, it has been a while, Davis. I'm glad you're here. Alright, theft. Jose Muma reported a run-in with a pickpocket at the park. His wallet was stolen along with some documents and an expensive watch. I'm sure it was that red-headed brat who is rubbing all or red-haired brat who is rubbing all over me. I am doing good, Maris. How about you? Hopefully you are doing well. We will get Jorgensen, Brevik. Altos, you're so stunning. Please court me. You need to go through some paperwork for that, I'm afraid. You're going to need to ask a lot of demon royalty for that kind of thing. A fraud scheme, it seems, after we deal with the theft. Sitting quietly on the bench is a red-haired guy who fits the description, but in the distance there's a woman struggling with a young man in a hood, shouting and clutching her bag. Altos has his own gulag after all, pretty much. The one in the hood The guy in the hoodie notices the police and tries to escape. He stumbles and several wallets and pieces of jewelry come tumbling out from his pockets. Shoot him with the taser.
911.
And everything worked out fantastically. Alright, so what's about this fraud? Hello, I was contracted by a lawyer named Daniel Horton Jr., who told me some wonderful news. It turns out I'm a distant relative of a Nigerian prince who recently died, and he left me $15 billion. I only need to pay $20,000 in gold bullion to open an account to receive the money, but I noticed that the lawyer carries a pistol, so I decided to play it safe and call in a police escort to make sure everything goes smoothly. Oh my goodness. I can't believe you're falling for this. I need Flores to stay here. White, you go. White, you need to level up your trust so that you'll be a better policeman and also won't rat on me. Public indecency. Phyllis Emery is clearly beside herself. This jerk took his crooked dick in the middle of a crowded bus and started to poke me with it. God, it was so disgusting I screamed, and several of the men on the bus grabbed the pervert and wrestled him to the ground. As they should. Shaw, Flores, go. How did the report go? Good. City Hall had a wall repainted by some hooligans. If the police can't do their jobs in a timely manner and send these criminals to prison, then they can spend their shift cleaning off the walls. Ailey, Revik, you two go. Oh, I guess I accidentally sent in, Jorgensen instead of Revik with Bailey, but it's fine. Good. I'm glad you exist, friend Dalatos, and I am glad you exist as well, Grunt. Two things at the same time. Of course it was. All right. Let's do the... okay, then. An armed man entered a publishing office and demanded a copy of the new novel by writer Ivan Byakov, which had just gone to press. Very strange, but okay. Song, Flores, Sonu. And it's just one man, so we won't send in the SWAT team. So many things at once, I can't take it. Hopefully one of you get done quickly, so that we can deal with this carjacking.
412 in progress.
The man fires a shotgun into the air and yells at the editor, "Better bring me that fucking book right now, or you'll be the hero in today's obituary." Taser. The suspect has been sighted. He's squatted down next to someone's car, one end of a hose in the gas tank, the other end of the hose in the suspect's mouth. Apparently he's trying to siphon fuel. Take the hose out of your mouth and put your hands up. He sees the police and quickly draws a gun from his rear holster. He shoots wildly and misses. Kill him. Old man has a hearing problem. Pharmacist was explaining that the old man's Vicodin prescription had expired and mistakenly heard something about cocaine. Well, looks like we can't deal with the carjacking, but hopefully we can with the assault and the deadly weapon. Please hurry back, everyone.
112 in progress.
Thank you. During a performance, someone began shouting racist speech at a black singer and then fired several shots from a pistol. The room descended into panic and everyone ran for the exits. I see. You're gonna decapitate Officer Shaw for being late again. Yet. This is correct. You, and you. Also you. And it's only one person, so we're not going to get the paddy wagon. Everyone else for this. Let me see what we got. A passerby reported a dark sedan speeding through red lights, swerving from side to side. He's got to be drunk or stoned. I just thought you'd want to know. That is fair. More of those. More of those. I can't do that. Someone's dead, I think. A police cruiser caught a... when are you going to play Gulag Simulator? Whenever that game comes out, then I will play it. A police cruiser caught up with a sedan which is swerving dangerously all over the road. Run him into the curb. To the parking garage. Lock all the exits.
112 complete.
Rip. Rip indeed. He left? He escaped? I'm still doing the Skeletor voice. Armorous? I'll be in and out playing arena. Sounds good, yep. We're gonna sell the pharmaceuticals to the mafia. Oh, how did the assault go? Vendor escape. Okay, never mind. No one actually died. That's good. We just failed both of those. Somehow. I'm sure the City Hall's not gonna... The City Hall still likes me? That's impressive. Girl sets house fire to watch firefighters. Freeburg mail truck missing. Nursing home to get cable TV. I thought that was your normal voice. No, it's not! This is my normal voice. This is how I normally talk. But this is how I do Skeletor. Today my daughter is opening an art exhibition at an elite gallery in a nearby city. Can I have the day off? Yes, but come tomorrow. Too tired? Yes, you can get your rest. Ask me to help out with the animals. They're badly short. No, you're a policeman. E-man, you're police. Alatos has a very Alatos voice. I do. Alright, today we are going to be listening to Back in Business by Kari Burton. I don't see the difference. Then that's your problem, not mine. Yes! 10% more on our raise! And I will take all of that to cash. Assault. Factory worker Vitaly Samsonov quarreled with the head of the plant and attacked him. Colleagues called the police, but are afraid to intervene because Samsonov is as strong as an ox. He took us all by surprise. Riss is a cutie, don't let him bully you, Alatos. I will keep that in mind. Alright. Ohanra. Griffith. Cintron. Shaw. Go. Disorderly conduct. About 24 Amish men chased everyone out to the city dump and blocked all access. The Amish community claims that the land belongs to them, and as evidence, they're presenting a handwritten document. An eyewitness reports that they're not behaving very peacefully, but there are hardly any weapons aside from a few pitchforks. You can't embarrass me so easily, twerp. Oh, I see. Not the Amish, I know. Deadly enemy, but we're getting the paddy wagon for them. I need at least you three to stay back in case something bad happens. Just use the bulldozer on them. I wish I could, but instead I will use the paddy wagon. Send in 4 different SWAT teams. I only have the one and they work twice, I'm afraid. Oh, they're both far out there. I don't like that at all. Vitaly Samsonov is holding the plant manager over a vat of milk. The manager is crying and kicking his feet, and then he wets his pants. Release him immediately. And everything went right. Alright, fine. We'll send in the others. Reckless endangerment. There shouldn't be too many people needed for that. Or maybe not. Reckless endangerment. We've received numerous calls from visitors at the local zoo who saw a drunken zoo employee open the cheetah cage. The dangerous cats are running amok and have started to attack people. Imagine hiring nothing but SWAT teams and just responding to literally every encounter with overwhelming force. I wish I could do that. That'd be hilarious, but I can't do that. Alright, time to tase some cheetahs. Alright, everyone has been properly arrested. The Amish are now going to prison. I repeat, the Amish are now going to prison. Alright, how did the reckless endangerment go? Thank goodness. Now, everyone get back here, so we can deal with this noise complaint at the cemetery. Teenagers are having butt sex in there again. The caretaker at the cemetery reported strange sounds coming from the crypt. I'm afraid it's the dead finally coming back. These are dark days. See, I told you! Butt sex! I'll be back soon now. Just bomb the Green Earth protesters. Oh, how I wish. I'll be back soon. Just need to step away for a bit. That is fine, Grunt. Gibbons. Vandal. Butch, you need to see people having butt sex. Forney. Cintron. Oh, that's not good at all. A man wearing a ski mask entered the LifeWire consumer electronics store. He pulled out a gun and demanded all the money and the most expensive toaster. The store's security guard was fast on his feet and managed to knock the gun out of the robber's hands. But then he grabbed a sales assistant by the throat and he's threatening to strangle her unless his demands are met. Everyone else, you're going. Except for you, Griffith. Except for you.
Looks like we have a
The
situation
door to the vault opens and there's a rushing down in the darkness. Or there's a rustling down. Shine the flashlight down. Two homeless men jump out of the darkness. They're carrying a shovel and some jewelry. It seems they don't want to give up the plunder so easily. Taser. And everything was corrected. We are gonna have them sell. We're gonna have the mafia sell it, because no one has to know. A man in a ski mask is in the middle of the store, holding a girl by her throat and yelling at the employees. Tried to sneak behind the suspect. Releases the girl and starts to run, then enters a room with a bunch of refrigerators and disappears. Spam the search. We got him. Excellent. Now everyone please come back. We have a firefight to take care of. Thank you. Everyone is going. A gang stormed the casino and went straight for the utility room. The eyewitnesses who called the police said he heard gunshots, and then the gang members started carrying out some boxes. We're getting the SWAT and the paddy wagon too. Literally everything. Vehicular accident. The owner of a grocery saw a car drive onto the sidewalk and knock over a girl who was playing with her roller skates. Then the bastard stopped, waited a second, then backed up over the child again. I have heard that's how the Chinese do it back home, but are we really going to let them get away with it here? I don't think that's very accurate. I can't deal with either of those.
110A complete.
There we go.
511 complete.
No. And the firefights go. Birch Jr. is dead! No! We'll bring it to the police station in memory of Birch. I thought I would make him survive to the end of the game, but apparently not. Today is indeed a super dark time. Frank Zucker reports that a young blonde in a short red dress approached him at the bar and offered to go to bed with him for cash. I've never laid down with a whore. Can you believe this bitch? That I can. That I can.
1312 in progress.
Give me a second for all my police to come back. Yes, we will not forget Birch Jr., who was better than his father in every way. Every way. Imprisonment. A man with a strong Spanish accent said that a dozen people are being held against their will in the basement of a cafe. The hostess of the cafe seeks out needy immigrants, gains their trust, and promises mountains of gold, then imprisons them and makes them work around the clock for stale food. For stale food. According to the man who called it, he was one of the slaves, but he managed to escape. The woman also has 5 armed guards who regularly beats up the least productive workers. That sounds wild, but sure, we'll take care of it. Paddy wagon. Police impersonation. Lucifer in the Sky with Lizards nightclub. All police are... What an interesting name for a bar. Or for a club. 4 police officers entered the nightclub and started arresting people for having fun. They bullied the girls, and when the guys got angry, they beat them up and humiliated them. One of them put a gun in a patron's mouth and shouted at the others. Another cop knocked out a man's front teeth with the butt of his gun. The club manager has serious doubts that these are even real police officers, and suspects that one of his competitors might have sent them to cause real trouble. Alright, well, let's take care of that, shall we? Hold on. I was leaned back in my chair. Hold on, I need to fix my thing. There we go. Much better. No, not that. This. E. There we go. Alright. Prostitution. Blonde is Frank Zucker's ex-girlfriend. She'd come to the bar with her friends, and Frank saw her and decided to teach her a lesson. Oh, come on now. Okay. Okay. Police found a secret tunnel into the basement and descended into a very dark and smelly room. A man notices the police, shouts something, and quickly disappears. Chase him. The police are taking enemy fire. Return fire.
711 complete.
We got him.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Refuse. Don't come back dead. How'd it go? Hey, you guys got him! That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Oh, goodness. End the day. Declare dead. He deserves that. Yes. Who's knocking?
Mr. Boyd, I'm
Oh.
Agent Avrahami, and this is Agent Roberts. You'll have to come with us.
What now? Oh. Please get dressed, Mr. Boyd. We'll wait for you in the car. Mr. Boyd, did you hear what I said? You know what? You boys can go to hell. I'm not going anywhere. Not right now, at least. You can come down to the police station during regular hours. You can't just come to my house while I'm sleeping, pull me out of bed without any breakfast. Right now, the only place I'm going is back to bed. I'm closing the door now, and if you...
Jack, what's all this? I told everyone what a great sport you are and how fun it would be to play a little joke on you. Where's your sense of humor gone?
Ethan, it's 5 in the morning. At this hour, the only thing that'll get me laughing is one of you feds slipping on a banana peel.
Well,
So hostile, I know.
such a joker.
You're getting old, Ethan.
You're getting fatter, Jack.
And you're getting boring.
And you're getting fired.
Fine. You win.
But you're still a snappy dresser, Jack. As I'm sure you can guess, we've got an assignment here in Freeburg.
Oh ho.
Come on, let's go. We'll fill you in at the scene. Oh, and I really am glad to see you, Jack. You have no idea.
Fair.
Meet Jack. And this is Agent Suresh, Agent Kumaro, Agent Ellis, and Agent Dixon.
How many agents?
How many men did you bring?
11 people on my team, plus 2 heads, but they're still asleep at the hotel. We got to Freeburg a couple hours ago.
Okay, and what is this in relation to?
Actually, I was asked not to communicate with the local police, at least until the press conference, but, well, you're a friend. And by the way, you're lucky you didn't have time for breakfast.
Oh no. Uh-huh.
The press are calling him the Dentist. Just like every other fucking maniac, he's got his own stupid nickname. We spent 19 years chasing this guy.
Sick
MO
shit,
is
yeah.
always the same. He kills young women in a small town, drops out of sight, and then reappears on the other end of the country with a fresh set of victims. He kills without hesitation, stuns the victim, then strangles her while she's unconscious. And that's when things get fun. He uses a power tool to ream out the dead girl's mouth.
Ew.
For 5 years, we've heard nothing. That's the longest break he's ever taken. Then 6 hours ago, we got a crazy anonymous tip that the dentist was in Freeburg, and he'd already committed his first murder. They even told us the address of the house.
Well, that's probably
So
him
the
who called it.
anonymous tip came
Yeah.
from the dentist himself, but that hasn't been verified yet. Oh, Dixon, don't go anywhere. So, Jack, listen. Dixon will take you to the station. You can bring your people up to speed. Looking
Uh-huh.
forward to full cooperation, and it would be great if you could bag a criminal like this before you retire. A nice farewell. You know what I'm saying, Jack?
Sure.
Yeah, a nice farewell.
And Dixon, Mr. Boyd will tell you where to take him. Come on, look alive. You're the police chief's driver today, if that's good enough for you. I'll come around to see you tonight. Buy us some beers, huh? But not that piss you normally drink. That stuff gives me wicked heartburn.
Wonder if Palmer was supposed to have a Boston accent. Armstrong didn't come into work today. Lovely. Revik didn't come into work today. Awesome. Sure. Sure, Sanu. My father got drunk and beat my mother again. This time it looks pretty bad. Oh my goodness, we're losing everyone. Yes, but come tomorrow. Yes, but come tomorrow. My goodness, everyone's going! This is gonna be a rough shift, I can already tell. Okay. No. Whatever, fine, doesn't matter. We're playing the same song as last time. Oh, we're so screwed. 50% with the staff. I don't have any detectives, so you're gonna have to wait. Actually, hold on. Investigation. Okay. Who can I put on for this? Either Kodo, Wolf, or Mole. I think they're all heading their own investigation there, though. Yeah, they're all heading their own investigations. Darn it. Alright, we need a new police officer. Barty McDuck, Donnie Coleman, Jamie Ellis, Mother Baker, and Arik Barcelona. Do we really? Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Alright, welcome to the team, Barty McDuck. Who am I putting you on? Putting you on Shift B. Alright. Farty McDuck, kill me. Assault, lovely. Alright. An obese man found himself stuck in an elevator, but when people attempted to help him, he lashed out and began to strangle one of them. This is the third time I'm late to work, and it's all because of this fucking elevator. I don't blame you. Alright, White. Go. White and Song are gonna take care of it. Attempted murder. Lovely. An elderly concierge reports that he saw an angry girl through the window attacking someone's car with a baseball bat, yelling, "Get out, you painted wretch. Come on, I know you can hear me. I will kill you myself." All right, Percy. Yeah, Bailey, go. Can't wait to attend the promotion or funeral of Farty McDuck. I know, right? Have the assault go. Okay. Uh-huh. Cool. Way to go, team. Hello, Jack. I suspect you don't like the dentist nickname any more than I do. But let's just say that's who I am and get down to business. Take a good look at the postcard I sent you. It points to a place where I hid something. Follow the clues, keep on the trail. Let's say there's a reason I'm giving you a chance to catch me. But don't dare share this clue with the feds. Or the trail will go cold, I promise you. And hurry, if you don't figure out the right place in the next 24 hours, I'll destroy all the evidence and walk away. I will. Chief, you've gotten yourself into a dangerous game and you can't win without evidence on the dentist. You hold in your hand a key to what happened to the victims. Look closely at the image on the card. It will help you figure out where the evidence is hidden. Send your detectives, but don't go blindly guessing. I doubt you have the resources to go to all of the possible places in time. Okay. Can I look at the thing? Investigations. Gangs? No. Here we go. A cathedral. Okay. Hello, Jack. I suspect you... Oh, he's literally... Okay. I'm pretty sure that's just the church. It's just the church. Okay, cool. Wait, it's a pizza place? Holy House. Okay. Alright, hold on. Investigations. I need the mole to do this. I can't... No, come on, no. You can't do this to me. Come on. Can I not take the wolf out? No, because he's the... Oh, my goodness sakes, man. That's not even fair. How'd the murder go, guys? Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Good. Well, I know where he's at. He's at the Holy House Pizza, but I don't have any detectives on this shift that can help me. Actually, I wonder. Hold on. Archive this. Holy House. Cadeau. Oh, I need 2? Oh my goodness. Hold on. Investigation. Who can I send as well? Holy House. Mole or wolf? Alright, let's look. Mole's got enough, so let's archive this for now. Cadeau and Mole, go. Oh my goodness sakes alive. No, I don't care. Theft, and we have fraud. Bank employee reports that a suspicious man came into the bank. He's obviously trying to cash a forged check. Cashier also said that he's hiding something under his pocket. Percy, go. Fine, White, go with him. Thank you. Song, theft. Michael Gibson was only away from his vegetable shop for 2 minutes, and someone managed to steal a big cart filled with watermelons. I bought that hauler a month ago. Bright orange, easy to spot. The thing weighs almost 500 pounds, so they can't have gotten far. Jorgensen, Bailey, go. You're all going. 3 people died in a blaze at the Freeburg Birth Control Union Women's Center. I can't do anything with that. Jack, Officer Jorgensen somehow learned about the postcard from the dentist and he's up in arms that you've been suppressing evidence. He demanded that I take action immediately or he's taking this directly to the prosecutor's office. I convinced him to sit on it for a couple more days, but we have to do something fast. Oh, lovely. Discovered evidence. Detective Cadeau fell into a violent trap set by the dentist was clear. No! Cadeau! Mr. Boyd, after the needless death of Detective Cadeau, guys had a quick word and we decided we can't keep going on assignments like this without swap report. Agreed. Okay, it's a thing. Mole. Oh, I need... Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Making me archive all these things. Why do you hate me, game?
Looks like we have a situation.
The suspect is sitting in a chair, obviously very nervous. He grows very agitated when he sees police and starts banging his foot on the floor. Watch slowly approach him. Man suddenly jumps up and grabs the woman standing next to him, putting a huge knife to her throat. He knows that the police aren't there for him. Or are there for him. My friend, you're gonna find yourself in a body bag. You better release that hostage quick. Let the woman go and get out of here. We're not here for you. No, it's not your fault. Let's just go down. No. You're gonna get yourself in a body bag. Cool. Across the market, there's an elderly couple rolling a big blue cart filled with fruit that looks like watermelons. That's not it. You need to search for the criminals. Around the farmer's market, there are 3 carts. One of them is orange filled with watermelons. 3 women are carrying something over to the small truck. Watch until someone goes to the orange cart.
911.
Yep. Please get back here soon, everyone. There's a trespassing we need to take care of. Frames found. 3 frames. It's pizza, and a gang sign. Bill Buckler said that no less than 20 cultists have taken up residence on his farm. They claim that the house and the surrounding acreage belong to him. The Lord has given unto us this land for our suffering, according to Buckler's unwanted guess. Some of the cultists were armed. Or are armed. Everyone's going. Get the paddy wagon. How'd the trespassing go? Cool. Thankfully, all is relatively quiet. We'll do it. Just so that I don't have to hear the thing of, you didn't do the thing from City Hall. No, I'm doing it. Leave me be. Investigation has started. Alright, end the day. Fine. Don't care right now. End the day. Declared dead. Gonna need a
So I went downstairs.
new
figuring I'd find
detective.
Some mercenary or an escaped serial killer or some other lowlife I'd put away, right? But when I hit the lights, I saw a young kid. Couldn't have been 20. Skinny, dirty. Didn't even have a real weapon, just a rusty shiv. He just stood there, didn't say anything. My whole career, I've been staring down the most dangerous people in the country, and the only one to get into my house and scare my family to death was just some kid about to crap his pants. I pointed my gun at him, and he just stood there with his mouth open.
Bad luck for him.
He was pretty lucky to still be alive. And you know what? It was you that saved him.
I think you have me confused with somebody else, Ethan.
No. Listen. All these years, me and Marla joked about how dangerous my job is. We figured that sooner or later someone would sneak into our house and cut us to pieces. You know? Pretty dark jokes, but
I need to look at an IMBD
Marla
for
asks
this.
me
Hold on.
not to jump into gunfights when she kisses me on the cheek before I leave for work. It's like we figured that if we joke about stuff like that, then it'll never actually happen.
Jack's voice sounds familiar. Give me a second.
While I trained my gun at the kid's nose,
No way it is who I
finally
think it is.
realized someone really can get into our house.
It's John St. John.
And really
Okay.
cut us to pieces. Now that it finally happened, I can't.
Yeah,
use
Duke
any
Nukem
more
and
jokes
Big the
like that.
Cat. Okay.
Marla won't laugh anymore. She'll
I was
burst
like,
into
he
tears
sounds
and stay in
familiar.
bed all day crying, hating me more and more every second. So I figured the only way out of the situation was to show her that if someone really does dare to break into our house, he's guaranteed to get a bullet in the face. He'll die right there on the living room carpet.
God, Ethan, didn't know you were so bloodthirsty.
I'm telling you, Jack, I was serious about shooting this kid right there where he stood. I was about to pull the trigger. But then I remembered you. Remembered 1,000 years ago, we went to the lake and had some beers after an ethics lecture at the academy. I was all angry with that professor, Laszlo, yeah. Remember what he always told us? Being a good policeman is very simple. You just need to keep doing the right thing. I hated those pretentious speeches. I cussed Laszlo up and down and said, if you always do what's right, you've turned yourself into a robot. And you just sat there, drunk eyes staring into the distance. And you were all calm and said, no, Ethan, it's the other way around. To do the right thing takes everything you got as a human.
I said that. Oh, what an idiot I was.
Come on, Jack, it's not funny. When things get bad, it's those moments you gotta be hopeful and stay human.
Yeah.
And I did just like you said. I stayed human. And then I slapped the cuffs on the kid in one quick move, just like Bobby Flash.
Bobby Flash?
What? You don't remember Evening Freebird,
No.
the old news column?
Not at all.
Stories about the cop hero Bobby Flash?
No.
Yeah, I heard they even published a book a few years ago.
Oh, that Bobby Flash.
Yeah, that Bobby Flash. How can you not remember Bobby Flash? We all argued at junior high about which one of us would be Bobby Flash when he grows up. Oh, I'm no Bobby Flash. A hero cop would never think about shooting a terrified teenager. But wait a minute. If I'm not Bobby Flash, then maybe you are.
Oh, don't say that. No,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Maybe so.
All right, what do we got? Oh, City Hall really doesn't like me. All right, fine. Well, I had a very bad shift yesterday, so that makes sense. 21-year-old Allison Bell, victim of brutal murder. Rogers is responsible for Freeburg PD breakdown. Freeburg housing construction affordable. Oh my goodness, Shaw. No. This is the second time you've come in drunk. No. Alright. What do we got first? Dirt Cheap by Tracy Lutz. What do we got? Take everything. As Freeburg police failed to detect the appearance of a famous serial killer in the city, it has become clear that your detectives simply are not up to the challenge. You have 7 days to fully upgrade your detective roster. Find some smart young faces and those other assholes working for you. Keep them as far away from the police station as possible. I need a new. Mark Moody. You will be hired for Shift A. Investigation. Your detectives aren't up to snuff anymore? Apparently not. That's what City Hall's saying, at least. Hold on. The armed robbery, let's reopen up the case. We'll give... I can't give that to anyone. Never mind that. Wait, can I still reopen it, but not give it to anyone? No, it has to be up with someone. Okay. Then I have to wait for next shift. Then... Drug sales in Chinatown. An old man complained that a suspicious guy was lurking around his apartment building. He doesn't live here. I know the faces of all my neighbors. This guy is selling drugs. Van, Flores, Shaw, and Cintron. Go. Please let it be a simple crime day. Guy didn't have any drugs. He was only waiting for his girlfriend who hadn't answered his calls since they quarreled. To be fair, he lost the detective really quick, which was unexpected. This is fair. But we were also chasing down a serial killer who had planted a trap for us. Very Saw-esque, if I do say so myself. So far, things are going smoothly. Let's look at that homicide again. Alright. I think we got most of everything. Mr. Hall. Saw a black sedan pull up to the building and two men, one in a raincoat, got out. They passed me without saying anything. I heard the elevator and I turned and saw two scary men. I didn't see any weapons, but they made it clear they'd kill me if I got in their way. It could have been a robbery. Elvis had a safe in his office. Don't know what he kept inside it. Yeah, I saw a couple of idiots, but I don't remember what time that was. I actually learned about the incident only later. Elvis had his share of problems, but he preferred not to talk about them, but I knew there were some people trying to take away his business, and he was offering them a bribe. Okay. So they got into the elevator. Okay, the secretary. Didn't see any weapons. Yep. On their way. The robbery had a safe in his office. We don't know what he had. I saw a couple of idiots, but I don't remember. Had to share his problems. Only issue was one was in a raincoat. It's not really a raincoat. Yeah, yeah, hard to say, hard to say. Oh, yeah, that's a green sedan. It has guns. 160135. What's the difference? Oh, one's a red sedan. Okay. Or a black sedan, rather. Okay, not quite then. Fine. Okay, we'll close that for now. Hit and run. How's that going? Deal with that later. And then nothing on the arson. Assault with a deadly weapon at City Center. A man attacked a sales girl at the flower shop when she refused to give him a bouquet of roses on credit. Eyewitnesses report that the man struck the poor girl with a pistol and started to choke her with some packaging tape. All the while he kept yelling, "I just want to be treated like a human." And this is going to be interesting. Flores, Shaw, Cintron, Kennedy. Go. I'm going to put Shaw on almost everything I can to teach him a lesson about being drunk on about being drunk the night before. Okay. Michael Shaw was killed in a car accident. According to preliminary reports, it appears he was drunk. Damn it.
412.
How'd the report go? Hey, we got him at least! A hostage situation, lovely. Well, you know what? Don't frickin' drink if you gotta work the next day. Yeah, pretty much. An armed man wearing what looks like an explosive vest is standing next to an attraction at the ice arena, demanding that the dangerous stuff be dismantled and removed right away. Park visitors and their children are trapped on the Ferris wheel, and the offender is refusing to let them leave. Everyone! Oh! Accidentally clicked outside of the box. There we go. Resume. Everyone. And since we're dealing with explosives, we'll send in the SWAT unit. Oh, goodness. How'd the hostage situation go? No one died. Awesome.
712.
Abduction. Lovely. Give me a sec for that. Come on. Come on. Come on. Abduction. Felipe Santos said that his former business partner, together with 3 armed accomplices, broke into his house and demanded money. Santos couldn't pay. He keeps all of his cash in the bank. So they kidnapped the man's wife and their infant and took them to an abandoned house on the outskirts of the suburbs. They ordered him to return with the money within 3 hours. His name is Rafael Sueza. Created the company 3 years ago. Business was lousy, so he blackmailed me after the first year and forced me to buy him out for a huge sum of money. Now he's found out that the business turned around and he wants even more. Well, that's not good. Vandal, Flores, all of you guys. All of you guys. And we'll get the SWAT, because there's more than one. You. Gibbons, Stokes, Griffith. The motel manager saw people dragging a limp body from one of the rooms, and now they're tearing the room apart, obviously looking for something. Yep. Hit and run. How'd it go? Nothing new. Okay. Homicide. Yeah, I know. All the detectives are dead or fired. I know. Wait, hold on. What? Weaver died? What? Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Man with a gun in his hand is smoking on the porch of the abandoned house. Go through the back door. The music inside the house is pumping loudly. 3 armed men are sitting at a table playing cards, and in the corner there's a frightened woman with a child. Pull the cord.
712 complete.
Thank goodness.
Officer,
There's 3 people shining flashlights on the side of the room, and the voices of the perpetrators are raised. This is the police. Come out with your hands up. Criminals are confused. One has a knife, and the rest have flashlights. There's a body on the floor covered in stab wounds. We have you surrounded. Drop everything and reach for the sky.
410 complete.
Nice. Hold on. No, this. When did Weaver just have like a heart attack, or did she just straight up die? Did she die during the What happened? Declare dead. Declare dead. Too many people dying. Too many people dying.
Boyd here, and I hope you have a hell of a good reason for calling me in the middle of the night.
I'm sorry, Mr. Boyd. I'll call you
Oh,
back.
hey,
later.
Lana.
No, wait, you're the girl from the prosecutor's office. Lana, right?
Yes, exactly. Oh, I'm so embarrassed, Mr. Boyd. The first thing Mrs. Broom told me about you is that you almost never sleep.
Almost true.
I don't sleep too much either, so I thought I'd call you and apologize for last time.
But it wasn't the last time, was it?
Well, I've been going over our conversation in my mind, and I realized how stupid I sounded. You're the chief of police, and there's a strange girl calling you, saying she'll be the next city prosecutor, just to share the news, I guess. I must have sounded crazy.
Not so crazy as you imagine, Lana.
Mhm.
When I learned I was going to be police chief, my parents were already dead, and my only friend was working 1,000 miles away from Freeburg. Wife and kids were relaxing on a distant island in the middle of the ocean. Took me 6 hours to get a hold of them. But I had to share the news with someone. I would have gone mad. All the more because I was surrounded by half a dozen cops who figured they were ahead of me for the job. I figured you were feeling about the same.
It's like you're reading my mind. Now I'm like an outcast here. Most of them still think that Mrs. Broom was joking or trying to show her deputies that she's in charge of appointing her successor. But I know it's no joke.
For some reason, I didn't doubt it, Lana.
That's probably why I'm calling you. I know it's selfish. I'm sure your wife isn't too keen on girls calling you at night.
My wife and I, well, we're not living together.
That's a way of phrasing it.
Maybe I'm the loneliest man in town, and that's why you called, to talk to someone even lonelier than you, huh?
I'll play some game for keeping me awake a little more. Sounds good, Davis. Thank you very much.
Lana?
You know, Mr.
Somebody
Boyd,
has to
maybe I'm an
simplify.
idiot,
I will,
but
I'll
until
do my
this moment,
best.
I didn't realize how lonely I am.
Well, you're in luck, because now you can call me anytime. But if you do, you'll have to call me Jack.
Jack? It'll take more than one phone call to get used to that.
Well, we're not in a hurry, are we?
True.
All right, day 68. Almost nice. Almost. How are we doing? Yeah, that seems about right. Boutique sales invite stampede. 44% of Freeburg believes homosexuality contagious. Oh my goodness. Authentic uniform of German General Karl Wolf discovered in city dump. All right. No, you cannot go home and read your book. Our house burned down last night and my elderly father was inside. We need to somehow make sense of this and start planning the funeral. Yes. My dog died. Yes, but come tomorrow. What do we got next? Store-Bought Amnesty by Seth Campbell. Ooh, this is very smooth. Salary. Yep. Mafia. Or funeral. Mafia. Take it all. What do we got here? 25-year-old Pamela Cox, a stripper from the club Twister, was brutally murdered in her home. DeBrito, Armstrong, and the SWAT. Go. Oh, lovely. All right. Mother Baker, you're gonna be in Shift A. Shift A is cursed, I swear. And then Richard Kuzma, you're gonna be hired for A as well. This is very funky music. I wouldn't say too much funk though. I don't know. Lot of swing, a lot of jazz in it. We got 3 frames. Open the investigation. Jack, I'm so glad you've lived up to my expectations and accepted the rules of the game. So far, the feds are chasing their own tails, but you're following the trail of coins I've left for you. Feel how they're still warm to the touch? You're getting close. Sorry about your detective. I was just so excited to try out my new trap. But I swear it will never happen again. Just as good for the mind. It really is. Alright. What do we got? It appears to be a woman with a bunch of animals. Or is that a woman or is that a guy? I can't tell. Holding what appears to be a large bouquet, possibly? With flowers and a crown. Okay. We don't know if she was beaten with a nightstick, a pipe, or a fist. Weird. And this just tells me, yeah. Alright. Close.
910B in progress.
Alright, store. Constitution Arcade, or Coinstitution, excuse me. A group of teenagers cleared out a video rental cash register while the owner, Bruno Boyce, was occupied in the back room. A store employee recognized one of the robbers, a regular of the arcade room, at the arcade room. Alright, Percy and Jorgensen. Actually, no, McDuck, you're going. Alright, so. Okay, they're all studios. Hell on Wheels, no. Fortune Bank, maybe. Veterans House, LifeWire Store, or Beatbuster's Dance. I think Fortune Bank would be the best, so DeBrito and Armstrong go with the SWAT. Next one. Yeah, because it has a little crown right there. Nothing to me screams like... Nothing screams dancing, electronics, veterans, or a car dealership.
Officer on scene.
A teenager fitting the description of the offender is playing alone at an arcade console. Confirm with the manager it's the right suspect.
910B complete.
Alright.
910B.
Armed robbery, lovely. The silent alarm just tripped at Rivers Bank Central Branch. It appears that 4 to 6 armed robbers have stormed the bank and locked themselves inside. There are at least 15 visitors inside with them, along with dozens of bank employees. Everyone, you're all going. Please tell me that was right. Yes! Open an investigation. Police car. Weird, but okay. So yellow, which is this. A police car. Oh, nightstick. Okay. So, man with the yellow jacket with the heavenly pizza. Beat her with a nightstick. Okay.
311A.
A fight. This is not the time. Not the time. Oh, this really is not the time. 15 hooligans burst into a cafe, broke the furniture into splinters, wounded the manager, and badly beat another young man. A man armed with a gun was at the scene, and he fired a warning shot, but the hooligans only laughed and continued their rampage. They're destroying everything. They may just have to sort that out themselves.
910B complete.
How'd it go? Nice job, gang. I'm gonna have to wait at the last second. Hold on. 1 and... Please go. Come on, man! Darn it. Well, that crime's getting away. Yep. Offender escaped. People... No. Civilians killed. Yeah, I know. No, I don't need any of that. Deputy, how's it going? No. No. No.
1011A.
Terror threat! The police intercepted a radio signal similar to the kind used by terrorist cells. They appear to be preparing a terrorist attack on Freeburg. The radio could only catch short snatches of dialogue. It sounded like two cells, codenamed Green Snake and Jupiter, are going to make something they're calling the Prophet's Hammer to make a giant explosion. This sounds like a D&D thing. But sure, whatever, we'll send them in. White, McDuck, and Jorgensen. Oh, goodness. Come on. I believe. Have the terror threat. Oh, by a toy radio. Okay. There weren't any terrorists in the abandoned apartment. No sign of imminent attack. Okay. I figured it was going to be a false alarm, but I just wanted to be sure. Just in case. Because you never know. Hold on. Okay, good. We do have everyone. The owner... Oh, drug sales. The owner of a small grocery reports that teenage drug pushers are always hanging around the corner outside his shop. I'm tired of calling this in. You cops never do anything. The disappointed man then abruptly hangs out. Sanu, Song, McDuck, go. Okay, withholding evidence. Jack, what kind of circus are you running over there? Tampering with evidence? Seems your men aren't so loyal after all. Just be glad that we don't want to see any more hype in the papers about this dentist of yours. We convinced the prosecutor not to investigate your little sideshow, but we did ask the feds to look into you. They'll be going over your correspondence with a fine-tooth comb. Lovely. Alright, how the drugs and arson go? Drugs. Fender caught, officers unharmed, good. We got cocaine. Gonna let the mafia sell it. And we got 3 frames for the arson. End the day. Oh, we got new people on for shift A, at least, thank goodness. Cocainium!
Boyd.
Well, finally, Jack. I've been dying to reach you these past 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
But I thought I should give you some time to recover your strength. How are you feeling?
Like hell.
Better than ever, Mr. Sand. Touched by your concern.
Happy powder.
This doesn't sound too sentimental, Jack. But while you were laying in a coma, I thought about our last meeting many times. It was such a fascinating...
Posture check. Alright, I'm checking my posture. I am... And a drink? Fine, I'll take a drink.
No, Mr. Sand, it was you who said that.
Was it? Well, doesn't matter. What is important, Kendrick told me a lot about you, Jack. But I suddenly realized that he didn't give me the whole story.
Uh-huh.
Why is it you only want half?
What are you talking about?
Well, why is it you only want to make half? Not a whole million, just half. Not 100,000, but 5. It's a very specific figure.
Everyone wants $1 million, so why not just aim for half?
Well, I was looking at a house a couple hours outside of Freeburg, down the river. I figured to buy it, move the family, and set everything up, I'd need right around 500,000. It's not my style to take more than I need.
Ah. I must admit, Jack, I imagined all sorts of reasons, but none of them were close to the truth.
Are you disappointed, Mr. Sand?
No, not with you, Jack. Quite the contrary. I respect you even more.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Mr. Sand. And now if you'll excuse me, I have to go home and get some sleep.
Of course, Jack. I just...
Leave me alone. Day 69. Nice. 25-year-old Pamela Cox, latest victim of brutal murder. Rumor, mayor's favorite stripper found dead in his home. The giraffe is coming to the zoo. What are we... Yeah, that seems about right. Alright, hold on one second, ladies and gentlemen. I need to turn on the AC. It's very hot in this this place, so give me 1 second. I will be right back. There, like I never left. Alright, back to this. Read all those. City Hall still hates me. Mafia still loves me. Let's go. Good morning. Mr. Boyd, what's the reason you called this press conference today? It's an important announcement. It is my duty to warn the people of Freeburg that there's a new predator wandering our streets, one who preys on young girls. Our sources tell us that 2 murders have already happened in the city, and a maniac nicknamed the Dentist is the killer. Why have you been so slow to warn the public? Blame the feds. The Dentist is part of a federal investigation. I have no choice but to cooperate with the clever boys in the dark suits. The Dentist is only one man. Can't the Freeburg Police Department handle one crazy loner? It's not so simple. The feds have been looking for the Dentist across the country for years, but hopefully in our small city he won't find it so easy to hide. Do you believe it's specifically girls who are in danger? Yes. The Dentist kills only young, attractive women. Do you have any information about the identity of the killer? Hard to say. The Dentist could be anyone. Over the years, the feds have had a dozen different theories and no real clues. Thank you. Day 70. No longer nice. Dentist preys on young, attractive women. More cutbacks on city road repair. Mayor's office arranged grand fireworks in honor of city. Yep. Alright.
Oh yeah, the work is definitely piling on. Truth is, if I didn't have Palmer helping me catch this psycho, I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah.
You know, when he got here,
And the stuff the newspapers are saying, is it true?
What are the newspapers saying?
The girl who was killed. She filed a sexual harassment complaint against the mayor? What about the other victims? Were they harassed by the mayor too?
Well, it's hard to say.
Is it true?
So far, the mayor's the only thing we have connecting the victims, but only one of them filed a complaint against him, and she withdrew it a few days later. Someone must have pressured her, but it's hard to say anything for sure.
But is it true? Do you think it's true?
I have no idea.
Let's just say it seems like it might be. What's the matter?
The mayor raped me.
Whoa! Okay. Alright.
Can you repeat that?
The mayor of Freeburg, Stuart Rogers, he raped me. You heard me right.
Okay, that's a bomb to drop. Alright.
When did this happen?
4.5 years ago when I was just out of college. They gave a reception for us at City Hall. Rogers gave a speech, and there were a few other speakers, then dinner. I drank the champagne, it was hot out, the music was loud. I was feeling dizzy, so I went to take a breath in a quiet corner. I found a conference room, then a few minutes later the mayor came in with his guard. Rogers whispered something to the guard, and the guard left. I didn't have time to figure out what was going on. Rogers just walked up to me, grabbed me by the throat and squeezed, and then he began to rape me. This went on. It lasted about 10 minutes.
Goodness sakes.
Look, Lana, it would be very difficult to prove anything at this point, but
You wouldn't have to prove anything. I have a videotape.
Oh, that's good.
Video?
A recording from a surveillance camera. A cassette. The raping mayor. Sitting in my closet next to Kramer versus Kramer.
Okay, time to kill the mayor.
6 months after it happened, someone slipped the cassette under my door. This was the same time the city administrator, Mary Simmons, was dismissed. Quite a scandal, if you recall. I think that must have to do with it.
Lana, don't worry about a thing. We'll use this tape and ambush the bastard.
No, we're not going to do that.
What?
Lana, listen to me. You need to...
It's been 4 years. Don't you think I've had time to think things through? I already decided I'm not pressing charges.
Lana, whatever you've been thinking, I promise you, it would be better if
No, it wouldn't be better. For the past few years, I've worked hard so that people would take me seriously, so they'd respect me as a professional. If I step forward now, I ruin all my efforts, my whole future, and I'll destroy my one chance to make this city better. I'll be a sympathy case, I'll be humiliated, and then I'll be attacked. And the one thing I won't ever get again is respect.
Lana, you're talking about covering up a crime.
I'm doing it because I know it's the right thing to do.
Then you're a fool.
Oh my God. I made a mistake. Just forget everything I said.
It's kind of a little too late for that.
Shit!
Well, time to kill the mayor. Bailey didn't come into work today. I was up all night. Sure, get your rest. Stella's Smile by Sean Stone. Please be advised that we are unhappy with the efficiency of the Freeburg PD. We're cutting the department's budget. You always do that. Oh, boy. Well, you said you wanted to get rid of all the old folks, so sorry, DeBrito. Yep. Sam, Michael, Weaver, my share, take everything. I need a new detective. Yes. McDuck, I swear to Chevitine, that's so hilarious. Alright, breaking and entering. Miss Peterson claims that the dentist is breaking into her apartment. I hear him drilling through the lock. You have to hurry. It's probably not that, but we'll send folks anyways. Because this sounds like a dangerous situation nonetheless. Suspicious individual. An inebriated guest of the restaurant noticed that the kitchen chef bears a striking resemblance to the dentist picture from the newspaper. It's... Oh, this is gonna be real bad. This is gonna be real bad. Everyone's gonna be doing stuff about the dentist now. It's gonna be so awful. Yeah, Jack Boyd, there's a real war against the scumbags happening on the streets today, and it's a war we're slowly losing. Can't he just, you know, go the fuck away? Oh, I wish. I decided to open my gun shop to help law-abiding citizens protect themselves from drug dealers and pedophiles. Today will be our grand opening, and I could sure use a couple of brave officers who could lure in customers by handing out flyers at the mall. And I won't stay in your debt. I'll give your boys some toys that will surely be useful on the job. Together we will clean the filth and stench from the city. Although I like your thinking, give me a second for some of my people. Yeah, Harassment, lovely. Alright, wait for my people to come back and then, oh my goodness sakes. Yes, Grunt, hello. I return, welcome back. Anything lewd happened while I was gone? No, but, Birch Jr. died. Also, I don't know what the fuck the press is thinking of asking that question. He's just one man. Why can't you catch him as if it were that easy? Yeah, but it is what it is. Alright. Sanu and Song, the dynamic duo, at it again. Alright, harassment. A tearful schoolgirl reported that a scary man with a face like on the news touched her shoulder during the show and said scary things in a strange language. Ah, these people are gonna drive me insane. Alright. Percy. White. Doc. Go. Suspicious individual. Oh my goodness. Man who resembles the dentist came into the office for an interview. The frightened secretary whispered on the phone, "He's green at me. He wants to kill me." It's exactly like the photo in the newspaper. Flores. Williams. I'm going to die. Homeless man is trying to rob a hot dog cart. Hysteria. Yeah, quite literally hysteria. The one thing I was worried about. And thus why I had hid all my information with the public. Was because I was worried about this. Alright, report. Also, that was a very strange job for police officers, but oddly enough, we're very tired out and got a lot done. Plus, Mr. Herzig gave us some nice guns. That's good for you, too. And a nice 4K. Harassment. Yeah. The man was not a serial killer, but a mild-mannered foreigner who was asking the girl to be quiet during the show. Figured. It was an innocent law student. If he was smiling strangely, it was because he was nervous about the interview. Also fair. The seller said that the homeless man grabbed the money from his till and quickly disappeared. Canvass the neighborhood.
910A complete.
Oh my goodness, everyone is going insane. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you all had fun. Oh yeah, Grunt, we got it. We got an officer named Farty McDuck as well. That is legitimately his name. I can't change the names in this game. He is legitimately called Farty McDuck. It is the most hilarious thing this game has given me so far. Fiona Kalis found in her apartment with her head caved in, a meat tenderizing hammer found next to a woman's body. Okay. Proceed. I was listening to some humanity. Fuck yeah! And one of the stories was Earth got bombed during a war where they were helping their allies in a losing war, one which they were helping to turn around. And these aliens got the bright idea of nuking Earth from orbit. And humanity literally almost exterminated the entire species and left them with a single backwater colony world with less than 200k. Oh my goodness, 200k people on the planet. Barney McDuck is my boy. There you go. Alright. Public indecency. Cemetery caretaker Harry Tipton reports that a young couple is having sex among a number of very old tombstones and making disgusting sounds. Mr. Tipton is afraid to approach. Yeah, butt sex! Alright. Flores and McDuck. Go tell the teenagers that they have to have sex in their homes, not on the street. Okay. Okay. HFY is really fun. It's one of my favorite genres of storytelling right now. Very nice. Yeah, there we go. These are indeed naked young people laying among the tombstones. Cough loudly. Young man jumps up quickly, shouts police, and turns tail. Run after the young man. End the day. Horny ass teens. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, Sonu is drained. Goodness. Oh no, it was kids. We're not in Britain. We're not in England. Otherwise, yeah, I would say it was probably Katsu.
Yeah, understood. Thank you very much, Walt. Sorry again for waking you up. Give my regards to Jean. Okay, gotta run. Hey, Martin, wait a minute. Martin, you still hang around with Bo Berenger?
Of course. In fact, he's my stepfather.
Oh.
Right. Think he has a couple of men available? Today? Right now, in fact? There's something important I need taken care of.
Sure. Something you need help moving?
Not exactly. Here's the address. I need this house watched. All day and all night until I say stop. If anyone suspicious goes poking around, tie him up and bring him here.
Okay.
I'll pay double the usual rate. or triple, whatever he needs. And nobody else knows about this, right?
Jack, they're more into looking after valuables, not houses.
What's the difference?
Well, these guys probably wouldn't care either way. Okay, Jack, no problem. I'll make the call. As for your retirement, I've been...
Let's focus on today, Martin. Now keep that house secure, all right?
Oh, boy.
Okay. I have a phone in the car. I'll call Bo right away.
I appreciate it, Martin. Believe me, I do.
All right. Also, the main premise of HFY is that
Hey,
humans... Oh, goodness.
Anything else I need to know about this?
No.
No. Better you don't.
Okay. Is that humans come from what a majority of... Oh, come on.
Hello?
I'm an addict.
Please, I don't want...
Listen to me, Lana. I really am an addict. For 20
Sorry,
years
Altos,
now.
you're good.
I've been lying to myself that I'm in control of the situation, and sometimes it really seems like I am, but sometimes in the more desperate moments, I become completely dependent on the pills. And it's just dumb luck that I haven't killed myself. Or someone else. More than a few times, I've come pretty close. I've been stoned while I'm driving, was even stoned once during a firefight. I've been on drugs while I made decisions where dozens of lives were on the line. When I'm overworked, I need the pills. That's my problem. It's my weakness. But I always knew that if I admit my weakness, if I start talking about the problem publicly, if I go to rehab, then I'm already as good as retired. They'll take advantage of the scandal and get rid of me forever. It doesn't matter all the good work I'm trying to do at the police department. They'll just bury me.
That they will.
So I'm keeping my problem a secret, at least until I can retire. I have to. I know it's the right thing to do.
You realize, Jack, this is the first time you ever called me?
Yes.
What?
You called me this time. I thought you were just waiting for me to stop bugging you, but now you called me and you opened up, even though you didn't have to. Maybe you're stoned?
I wish.
What? No, I'm not stoned right now.
Well, Jack, I guess you need me as much as I need you.
Oh, boy.
I need you more than you need me.
Now I know you're stoned.
Lana, You
I heard everything you said, Jack. I understood everything just fine.
Loot.
You don't need to say anything else.
Right, exactly. Say no more.
Sounds like they're getting ready to hold hands. Yeah, kinda. But while reading, I read the rest of the thing while Jack and Lana were talking. But yeah, that does sound like an interesting creative writing prompt for sure. Police station desk sergeant. The dentist spreading panic among citizens. Police overwhelmed by avalanche of false dentist leads. Freeburg residents jumping at shadows. Oh boy. City Hall gives me a singular thumb up, while the Mafia loves me. Doll, you're not taking the day off to go to a museum. Who do I give it to? I love how on your stream my name is literally in the chat. Oh, Gru, yeah, because the thing cuts you off. Or cuts off the name, yes. Oh goodness. Who do we give this to? You know what? Who's been Vandal? Cintron's been doing better. Let's give it to Griffith. She's been doing good. Give it to Dick Cheney. No, I'm not giving it to Dick Cheney. Alright, what's next on the list of music? String Quartet No. 1 by Borodin. Oh boy. What? City Hall cannot okay. No new detectives then, fine. Moody and Kazuma, or Kuzma. Kazuma? I guess I was thinking of Yakuza for a second there. 33-year-old Judith Pierce, former secretary of the mayor, was found brutally murdered in a motel room. All right. Take care of it, you guys. Attempted murder. Lovely. A woman claims that she was just in the park and the dentist was chasing her. I even heard the sound of the drill and his eyes flash with a devilish fire. Cintron, Baker, do it. Oh my goodness. Kennedy, go with them, please. This is another false report, but I gotta answer it, otherwise the city hall is gonna get mad. Frames found. Okay. Yep. A jogger wearing reflective glasses was in the park at the time, and there was drilling sounds coming from a nearby construction site. Yep. Homicide at the Buddhist temple. A sleazy-looking man burst into the temple shouting, "Come get it, you peace-loving bald bastards," and wounded 2 attendants. An eyewitness contacted the police and got out of there as fast as he could. He says someone else had already begun returning fire. All right, this sounds like an actual situation. Griffith, you go to. Suspicious. I swear to. Oh goodness. Saleswoman noticed a strange man through the window carrying a drill. He looks like the guy, the dentist from the news. At least from his song. I'm afraid to go near him. Dick Cheney's ride alongs always mysteriously gets shot in the back. Baker, Cintron, go. In the center of the temple are 2 wounded monks, and there's a wounded old man moaning in the corner. He dropped his gun near the monks. There's a trail of blood stains leading out to the left. Check the door on the left. Inside the room is a small, scruffy-looking man muttering something about God. He is wounded. Next to him is a spent gun. Move the gun away from the criminal. Oh my goodness! Okay, then. What in the world? It was just an ordinary student who was singing something from Metallica. I'm surprised they were able to use the actual name of the band for that. 4 officers! Vandal is proven to be God, though. He never dies. Let's hope that remains. Nor does he fuck up. This is also true. He's probably my best cop. Drug sales. Griffiths just got promoted too, right? Yeah, she sure did. The guard at the city dump has eyes on a meeting between 2 gangs, apparently both from Eastern Europe. Leader of one of the gangs is trying out a pack of white powder. The guard can't see how many people are there, but he counted 4 cars. I mean, we gotta send everyone, I guess. Including SWAT. Go. It's a drug bust we're going with. Oh my goodness. At least she died before the paperwork was finished. Now you don't have any more of her promotion stuff. You can go home early. Oh goodness, if only. The gangs have started shooting at each other and haven't yet noticed the police presence. Some are behaving like madmen and firing in all directions. Wounded bandit is running towards the police position. With one hand, he's gripping his wounded leg, and the other he's holding up his gun, which he points at everyone one by one. Guy is obviously in a panic. His pupils dilated, and he's shouting something in an incomprehensible language. Taser. Thank goodness no one died. Imagine if everyone died again, I would be very sad. I would be very sad. That would have just been some bad juju. Yeah, it would have been.
In progress.
These no ground touching. An alarm went off in a warehouse. That doesn't seem much use. Alright, fine. Cintron Baker. Q3. Receiving stolen property. Thanks to a tip from an informant, we've learned that a large shipment of imported alcohol, which was stolen yesterday from the port, is currently located at an abandoned house in the suburbs, where it's about to be split up and transferred to smaller sales points. There are at least five armed guards at the house. Well, we're gonna have to deal with 3 officers. Ugh. Okay, nothing on the hit and run. Okay. I cannot do that! You're gonna stand and fight. How'd it go, everyone? Thank goodness! I trusted you guys and you did not disappoint. You found alcohol. You were gonna sell it to the mafia. Place was abandoned. Apparently there was a short in the alarm's electrical wiring. Awesome. Fantastic. How's that hit and run going anyway? Hold on. I'm sure by now I could probably fill all this in. Alright. Hit and run. An unidentified vehicle struck and killed the young banker John Pazzi, then fled the scene. The limo driver. Mr. Pazzi sometimes liked to walk the city at night. I had just taken him out after a long business dinner. He pulled up to the park near the monument, and I didn't notice anything suspicious. Although there was a gray truck that didn't have any license plates. He followed us into the park from the restaurant, but it turned off somewhere. Okay. Gray truck. I remember these guys saying it was a Jeep. I remember. Mr. Pazzi died immediately on impact. A heavy vehicle struck him at high speed. Bruises on his body showed traces of a grill, so you might be looking at it for a Jeep or a truck. Soft tissue contained fragments of a windshield, so it appears that the blow was strong enough to throw his body into the air and through the windshield. The victim's clothes show traces of gray paint. So we can take this out, and this out, and this out. Those aren't gray, those are white. Passerby. I run in the park at night. Tonight I heard the roar of a motorcycle, so I went to check it out. I figured it was bikers who like to race on the empty roads. When I ran closer, I saw the road was empty. Then I saw the body, so I called the police. Motorcycle tire tracks and shattered glass were found at the crime scene. At a nearby intersection, a surveillance camera recorded a group of bikers, and behind them you can make out a gray Jeep with a cracked windshield. Yep, sure enough. Okay, so... okay. Just so you know, we've parked near the monument. I didn't notice anything suspicious. Altos, more like Aliotos, am I right? Darn it. Yes. Soft tissue, windshield, pair of clothes from air. Okay, so he died at a he died at a crosswalk, but what does this matter at all? Looks like he was near the curb. There we go. Henry Sand, Mafia Lieutenant of the Sand family. Way to go, guys. End the day. Declare dead, 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 dead. End the day. The dentist kills former Secretary of Mayor Rogers. Former Secretary of Mayor Rogers found brutally murdered. 33-year-old Judith Pierce becomes third victim of the dentist. Mafia still loves me. City Hall's tolerating me. Sano, you deserve to rest, my man. Yes, you can go home. What do we got now? Careless Love by the original Salty Dogs. Alright, hit it. Alright, let's get to business. Yeah. I'll take Floor's song. And let's proceed. Oh, hold on. No, apparently I need to wait until shift day. Okay, fine. We'll wait until shift day. So many cops are dead. Shift day. Okay. A. 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 Alright. So we have Elodie Anastasi, Matthew Hollinger, Luka Chovich, and Victor Butinsky. Butinsky, one might say. Oh, goodness. Illegal business activities. Awesome. Electronic shop owner Henry Harker reported that 2 young men were collecting computers in their garage and selling them without a registered sales license. This upstart with his fat friend are trying to destroy my business. They're making cheap counterfeits and misleading potential customers. These fraudsters don't have any respect for the law. Williams, Jorgensen, and McDuck. No, get my duck in there. That's what happened to me, honey. Sorely oh, okay. In the garage, they're doing some work that's making a lot of noise. No one answers the door. Forcefully knock on the door. There's a few students sitting in a jumble of computer circuits soldering something. What's going on here? Alright, disorderly conduct. Oh, goodness, I can just do one person, thank goodness sakes. A woman entered City Hall carrying a basin, proceeded to the restroom to fill it with hot water, and took it to the front desk where she proceeded to wash her hair. The guard on duty called the police. Apparently the woman is protesting the fact that her home has been without hot water for 2 months and the city has failed in its promise to fix the problem. I mean, that's fair enough. Percy, deal with it. Alright. How'd the disorderly conduct go, Percy? Thank goodness. I would imagine there wouldn't be any harm to the officer. And that the only thing to worry about would be her getting away, but it's fine. Oh, goodness. Alright. Oh boy, alright. At least it's a slow crime day today. I say that now, but we still got like 6 or 7 hours left for something bad to happen. Speaking of which, reckless endangerment. A passerby noticed a suspicious worker carrying a drill dangerously close to the roadway. He pulled his helmet down over his eyes, but I never forget a face. I knew right away. Oh, for goodness sake. I recognized him. It's the dentist, and he looks like he's about to jump out on the road and start drilling people right in their cars. Bailey, White, McDuck, go. There we go. The actual crime. Movie house cashier E. Moody noticed a suspicious van, which seems to be some kind of shop. He's afraid that drug traffickers have moved in next door. Floor, Song Williams. Reckless endangerment. Yeah, he was repairing the road. I figured. That or he was just putting equipment away. Assault! A trucker grew furious when he discovered a dead cockroach in his sandwich. He grabbed the waitress by her hair and beat her head on the table. The Roadhouse's hostess called the police. Hurry, soon he'll be coming for me. You should be going after the chef, not the waitress, my man. You have a problem with the food. Van is parked alone near the cinema. Looks empty. Pound loudly. Someone started moving inside the van. Don't move.
1111.
Harassment at Eddie's Burgers. A woman is on the phone claiming that the person sitting at the next table is the oh my goodness sakes, people. The terrible maniac from the TV. The man was staring at his feet and carrying a work bag on his McDuck, go. Fine, White, go with him. How'd the assault go? Cool. Lovely. Is there gonna be another dentist? Last, I'm afraid it's that maniac who carries the trail. Homicide. Ooh, lots of things. Yeah, homicide. Got 3 new frames. Arson, 2 new frames. Cool. Oh my goodness sakes alive. This is gonna be another false report too, I'm calling it now. 1210. Yep, Let's see. End the day, please. End the day. How many people are going to have to... Oh, okay, not many, actually. We got a lot of rookies, though, and I don't like that, but... what can you do? School bus crashes into candy store. Drunken firefighter soaks pedestrians with hose. Christopher G. Sands Ice Arena hosts book fair. Okay, at least City Hall's starting to like me more. Drank too much. I go home. Yes, but come tomorrow. Come tomorrow. Alrighty, we have 2 of them out because they got drunk. I don't want a part 2 of what happened to Shaw. Old Merkbow Reach by Bob Barnard and Friends. There we go. Van and Forney, go. Share it with the staff. Tomorrow's the day. Oh, right. Oh, my goodness. All right, hold on. Moser, you're fired. Okay, nope. Never mind. Moody, you're sticking with us. Mole, you're sticking with us. Armstrong, and yeah, no, you're not getting that out of me, Sonny. No. Homicide. Mindy Reyes was returning from work after midnight and came upon a male corpse lying in an alley near her home. Kuzma, and you'll have Moody helping you. Goodness sakes. And run. Fender caught. Heck yeah, boys. Let's go. Yes, we got all the suspects. Theft. The well-known porn actress Betty Belly was caught shoplifting underwear. She's wearing the stolen items and refuses to remove them or pay. All right. Stokes and Hollinger. Go. Investigation has begun. Let's look at the arson. We got some good frames here that we should probably parse through now. Alright, arson. 3 people died in a blaze at the Freiburg Birth Control Union Women's Center. Alright. Michael Ayers, nurse. I was about to go home when the building suddenly lost power and it got really quiet. Then I heard a muffled noise like a little clap from just down the street. The building had about 10 employees. I didn't notice the smoke at first, and when I saw the fire, I began to yell. But it was too late. Some people didn't make it out. Oh, this is a lot. All right. At the time of the tragedy, I should have already been home. I was just leaving and I ran into Ronald Sherman on the street. He's the ex-husband of one of our patients who decided not to have her child after she consulted with the Freiburg Birth Control Union. After that, Mr. Sherman openly quarreled with his wife. I understand he beat her and later they divorced. Since then, he's come to our offices several times, and on the evening of the fire, he was just standing across the road wearing a large backpack. He made a point of walking past me and muttered something in the spirit of "burn in hell, bitch." I thought how close I already was to hell if people could wear such ugly red sweaters. Alright, so you pulled the plug. Let's see. Fire started with a small plastic canister filled with accelerant, which was thrown from the street through an open window. When the fire began, the building was already without power, which interfered with the usual evacuation plan. Damage to the external cables show that they were not cut, but simply pulled from the wall by force. Okay. There we go. Ronald Sherman, the former spouse of a Freiburg Birth Control Union client who blames the center for destroying his family. And I can't do either of those yet until the next shift, but that's fine. Alright. Homicide. This requires a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have 6 frames. Alright, what do we got here? Fiona Kalis was found in her apartment with her head caved in. A meat tenderizing hammer was found next to the woman's body. John Kalis. Someone banged on the door and my mother told me to hide under the bed and close my eyes and ears and be quiet as a mouse. Okay. I only heard muffled screams. When I got out from under the bed, I found my mother in the blood and I called the police. Goodness sakes. Medical examiner. The fatal blow was struck by a blunt object to the head. The killer was standing behind the victim. Death was immediate, and the body shows no other signs of violence. Okay. I heard Fiona swearing with her brother. He'd come around again, begging for money at her doorstep. Then she started yelling at her son. He always sits there in front of the TV playing these stupid games until he turns blue. Then my phone rang, and I talked with my friend for an hour and a half. The door to the apartment was open when I came in. The boy was sitting in front of the TV playing some game on the console. Okay, so we can take that out of the picture. He didn't even turn in my direction. I think he was just in shock. His mother was laying dead there right in front of him. Yes, I went to my sister to borrow some money. I lost my job and the bills were piling up. I expected her to help, like I've helped her in the past, but she refused. But I didn't kill her. We had a fight and yelled at each other, and then I went home and I watched a movie I rented and went to bed. Alright, we don't have enough things for that, so we're not even gonna bother. Oh boy, here we go. The lady is behaving provocatively. Officer, you want to take it off me yourself? Handcuffs. 9/11. He's probably into that though. Oh boy. Alright, Route 22. Jack, old friend, the police academy staff have come down with a stomach flu and a huge influx of new recruits is coming in. We just don't have the manpower Help an old friend out. Send me 5 smart guys who can help organize everything and start up the program. Alright. Good enough. Please don't let anything bad happen while they are getting this program set up. What did I just say? Okay, at least it's a 3-person job. A priest just called in saying there's a woman right on the front steps of the cathedral selling his parishioners golden tickets to paradise for $50 a pop. What terrible blasphemy. You must arrest this lost soul immediately. I mean, the Catholic Church has certainly done worse. Oh, come on. You can't do this. Well, thank goodness there was a... Oh, no. No. Lovely. Chief, it was just a crazy day, but we were glad to have a hand in shaping our future officers. Just, to be honest, we have a lot to learn, especially Van Dahl and Kennedy. They were off... Really? Van Dahl? And Kennedy? The captain even forced them to stay behind for retraining. Oh my goodness, you guys! Oh, don't tell me you're all, like, out for the day.
Looks like we have a situation
Lovely.
here.
There's a woman standing on the steps of the cathedral. A long line of people are waiting to speak with her. Tell the woman that you need her to go to the station. The perp yells out police and throws the rest of the golden tickets into the crowd, then runs away. The crowd of people trying to grab more tickets are hindering the police. Out of the way, you're interfering with the police business. Thank goodness we actually got her still. But now we only have 3 officers on duty for the next 5 hours. Oh, please, please be a quiet evening. Please be a quiet evening! Now, an elderly woman reports 2 men in business suits circling a car in the parking lot trying to get in. The woman repeated the conversation she heard. What do we do now, genius? Break the window? Alright, fine. Unless they lock themselves out of their car. Oh, goodness, I can't! Massive fight at Lucifer in the Sky with Lizards nightclub. At a concert, the drummer for the local metal band Plunger in the Desert became offended by some shouting from the crowd. In a rage, threw his bass drum into the audience. Some fans suffered injury, while others rushed to the stage to retaliate against the musicians. I can't do anything about that! Oh boy. Another fight. Oh my... Well, so much for a quiet night. Yeah, lovely. Fender escape. People killed. Oh my goodness sakes alive. Really, another massive fight. This time at the Unicorns of Arcadia Gay Club. Suspicious individual. Chong Mao was taking out the trash when she saw 4 men in expensive suits knock on a neighbor's apartment door, then go inside. One of them caught sight of Miss Mao. He approached her and politely asked her to forget everything, warning her that talkative people often have untimely accidents. Soon afterwards, the sound of screaming and muffled gunshots came from the apartment. Ugh. You know what? The gay club can have their fight. We're gonna help out the old lady. That's 2 fights, and that's a fight for each club at this point. I'm gonna go insane. How'd the massive fight go? Yep, yeah, yeah, that seems about right. I can't. And Hollinger's dead. Awesome. We found cocaine, though. We're selling the cocaine. The Mafia. End the day, please. Declare he's dead. Goodness sakes alive. Mayor Rogers displeased with police department. He always is. That has not changed. School textbook costs rise 50% this year. Municipality allocates $2 million for airport reconstruction. They say it's gonna rain today and I have a very weak immune system. I'm afraid I might get sick. No. Drank too much. No. Yesterday I lost a bet and swallowed my car key. Last night I was shitting blood. I think I better... Yes! Percy. No. No. So many people are wanting to take the day off. Like, guys, please. Lose for Mr. T. Please be advised that we are... Yeah, I know. I know. You know what? Fire Batinsky. Fire him. Henry Sand turned out to be a gang... Oh, as the Sands. He could help you take down the game if you make him an informant. Really? Chief, the suspect is denying everything. If we want to get this guy's boss, we'll have to loosen his tongue. Proceed. Jack, now that you've started looking into members of the Mafia, you have to be careful. If they find out about this, you're dead. The worse your relationship with the Mafia, the more likely they'll start to suspect something's wrong. Good thing I have a fantastic relationship with the Mafia, then. Interrogate. We have prepared a profile on the suspect. The information we have gathered will help you identify his weak points and use them during the interrogation. When asking questions, be careful. If you screw up too many times, the suspect will likely refuse to cooperate, and then will either have to give up or resort to extreme measures. Henry Sand, 50, male. He was born with a defective heart valve. His doctors have urged him to avoid any sort of strong physical exertion. Henry wanted to be a football player and was doing well on the school team, but a weak heart prevented him from playing football on a professional level. Sports taught Henry how to endure physical pain. He never cared much for his studies. The family connections got him into college, and it was there that he met his future wife. He had a daughter, Mary, and Henry started working for the Sands parking garage. One day he fell asleep at the wheel and flew off the road into the river, and nearly drowned his wife and daughter. From the severe stress of this experience, he developed aquaphobia. At 41, Henry Sand was initiated into the family business and started managing the transportation side of the Sand Mafia organization. His daughter is a successful ballerina, and Henry likes to talk about her talent. When he was 49 years old, he suffered a heart attack and was briefly declared clinically dead. He now wears a pacemaker in his chest. Henry's medical bills have driven him to debt. He always thought the family wasn't paying him enough, but unlike some people he could name, he never goes behind the boss's back or skims off the top. Saw your daughter at the premiere of Giselle. She was gorgeous. It's my wife and I are very proud of Marianne. Henry, think about your family. What will happen if you go to jail for avenging your daughter, who will pay for her medical bills? Let me tell you what happened. You pull an untraceable car out of your fleet of vehicles. You track down, ruin him over there. You've been scared. Nope, he doesn't do that. We'll pay for her medical bills. Does his daughter suffer medical bills? No, it's only him. Interesting theory. You should write books. Okay. Henry, think about your... We'll pay for her medical bills. Don't remind me. Those doctors are worse than vampires. Be a man, take responsibility for what you did. Your heart won't be able to handle prison. You've already nearly died once. You've nearly died once. Don't worry, I've been on the inside before. I know how to survive. Damn, he wouldn't spit out a confession. Now we either ditch the case or forget the rule book and beat the truth out of him. Jack, that second option could end very badly. Even if we get what we need, there will still be consequences. No, his heart can't take... Actually, yeah, no. Everything's telling me this won't end well. End the interrogation. Sure. Yeah, that's a $2,000 thing I could get, which would get me over half of what I need, but I'm not gonna do it. Jackie Swernoff, I don't care. Leave me be. I need 2 detectives. Brutally murdered. Alright, hold on. Investigation. I need to figure your stuff out for arson. We're gonna archive this for now. And you're gonna join Wolf on this. And we're gonna take the SWAT too. And we're gonna have Sanu and Song with this. Oh, I already sent them without even thinking of where to send them at. Oh, well, that's my bad. All right, another oh, goodness, no. No, not with those. He's worse than Batinsky.
410A in progress.
All right. Attempted murder. The patient complained that his dentist was drilling his teeth with such a fury that the man had to escape and flee from the office. All the time he was wearing that mask that they wear, but I recognized his eyes. Oh my goodness. McDuck. Chovich. White. Go. Frames found. 3 new frames. Fatal frames. Wrong place. Alright. Try again once they get back. Oh, blah, 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 blah.
41011 in progress.
Sanu, Song, go get him. Trespassing! An elderly woman just called in saying that some strangers are trying to break her door down. Please hurry, they're scaring my cats. Floors, Williams, Bailey, go. How'd the attempted murder? Dentist was simply doing his job and doesn't match. Yeah, I figured. Should've just sent 2 instead of 3, but what can you do? Vehicular accident at the city center. Neighbors are pounding on the woman's door. It's a young couple exhausted by the yowling cats and the incredible stench. Yes, she has 50 cats in there. Knock. Several multicolored cats run from the apartment, and the male neighbor in a rage is trying to trample that. Control the man by striking his knee with a nightstick.
811 complete.
How'd the arson go? Fender caught, thank goodness. All suspects were caught. Okay. Vehicular accident. A biker crashed into a car that was driving through an intersection against the lights. Eyewitnesses report that the driver was drunk or stoned. He exited the car, turned on some loud music, and began to dance next to the biker's bloody body. He's just Fortnite dancing on the dude he just hit. Okay. Spitting image of the dentist. But you go. Fine. Jovich, go with him. Port. Alright. Yeah. Oh! Oh yeah, the vehicular accident. Yes, the Fortnite dancer. Attempted carjacking. A passerby saw a hooded man trying unsuccessfully to open a car door in the parking lot. He's swearing loudly and nervously looking around. That seems pretty suspect. McDuck, you're going with them. White, you're going too. How the suspicious individual? Old woman doesn't see very well. Yeah, yeah. Bruh. All right, drugs. Oh, come on. And rob. Okay, cool. And now large shipment of heroin. All parts will likely be armed. Supposed to have it on the 4th floor. I saw my cows are going around in the fields yelling. Saw you. Oh, Okay. Cool. One of those is an actual thing to deal with. The man is still messing around with the car. He breaks the window out of the driver's door and climbs inside. Get out. Shoot him with the taser.
113A.
Alright. This is an actual problem
450
to deal with. Jeez, they're not gonna get here in time. Darn it. Alright. Mostly everyone. And we'll get the SWAT and the paddy wagon. You're going... You two are going. This is why I kept Bailey here, too. A children's camp counselor named Roland Slayton reports that 2 young girls in creepy costumes and masks are fighting the children. They already have an edge, having read about each other's horror stories. Now they're off the run. About 24 children are currently unaccounted for. The girls in scary suits are running around chasing them. They're scaring everyone to death. They'll scare the children deep into the woods, and I'm afraid we'll never find them. It's a little too late for that. I'm dealing with some drug stuff. Actually, I can get these guys. You 3 deal with the children.
Officer on scene.
Oh boy.
Looks like we have a situation here.
Yes, thank you. All right. At the entrance to the building, there are 4 cars being watched by 2 guards. Try, climb up the fire escape.
1111.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
910B.
How the right? Yeah. Right colored kite for UFO. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Figured as much.
415.
Oh, okay. Nice job, you 3. You actually got all the children back. Good. End the day. Oh my goodness. All right. How are we? We're not doing good. End the day. Day 75. Surprisingly, City Hall's fine with me. Dentist now hunting middle-aged women, brutally murdered Veronica Larson, once favorite restaurant manager of Mayor Rogers. 40-year-old victim, latest dentist victim. It's not going to be great, but sure. Start the day. What do we got here? We did dirt cheap already. I mean, we might as well just start from the top at this point. Dirt cheap. Take it. Thank you for the salary. I need more. Give me better officers, please. I swear. I need another detective. I am not hiring this man. His professionalism is 60. I do not want him in my group. The Interministerial Committee is in charge of certifying select emergency personnel. Please send 2 of your most serious and reliable. All right, Forney, Stokes, do it. That means it's only gonna be you 4 casuals taking business. Lovely. Oh boy. Drug possession in Chinatown. The police received an anonymous tip that the Dirty Harry Dry Cleaners is a front for a cocaine ring. Alright, everyone, go over there and see what's happening. It's time to kill them all.
We've got a situation here.
Oh, do we? Do we now? Alright. The dry cleaner is empty, aside from an elderly Chinese woman dozing behind the counter. Show her wake her up, show her the search warrant. The Chinese woman wakes up, sees the cops, and starts shouting, then pulls a shotgun out of the counter. Use the taser.
1111.
We found cocainum. We're gonna have the mafia sell it.
In progress.
Church! A suspicious individual at the church. Ah. The priest believes that the dentist is saying right there in one of his services. The heathen's just saying there in the last row, I've got to go back on. Just hurry. Oh, lovely.
412A in progress.
Salt to the ghetto. Sounds good to me. A man came into the Black Handsome barber shop and presented a gift certificate for a haircut surprise. As specified on the certificate, he was blindfolded and trimmed, but when the man saw what happened to his hair, he became enraged, smashed the mirror, and attacked one of the barbers. That's not good. I can't handle a massive fight at the beach! Sure woman who came to the beach to swim with her 2 grandchildren lost her temper at 2 girls who were sunbathing topless. Nice. The ladies started with a number of nasty comments. When they were ignored, the woman began to beat the girls with a switch, yelling, "Shameless, shameless." 2 men stood up for the nudist, and soon several others joined the fight. Get the paddy wagon. Bruh, I cannot send anyone else. This is all you get. And I'm not sending someone to deal with the false report of the dentist at the church.
1210 complete.
Yeah. Free the booba. Agreed. Exactly. Let the nudists do their thing. The man is threatening to cut the barber's throat with a shard of the mirror unless he fixes the haircut. Got a bigger problem today than the haircut.
412A.
Nice. Alright. Get back here quickly, please.
415.
Cannot deal with that right now. A construction worker involved in the restoration of a historic building is in over his head, and the walls of the building began to crumble. Larger pieces are falling from the floors above, threatening the lives of passers-by. Witnesses reported that the construction worker quickly worked his way down by rope, then threw his helmet on the ground and ran away. I don't know why you would throw your helmet if there's chunks falling from the sky, but whatever. Please. They're not gonna get here in time. Oh, this is not good. Darn it. Thunder escaped. What do you mean civilians killed? He's legal business. Suspicious man is stopping cars of selling handmade wooden jewelry decorated with glass and manure. The brooch collapsed right in my hands, and the fraudster wouldn't give me a refund. How am I going to get my money back? Not my problem. Reckless endangerment. All right, you. I heard you were committing a genocide. No. I was simply trying to stand up for the rights of nudists everywhere. Mm-hmm. How'd the reckless endangerment go? Good, they caught him. Cool. There's a suspicious man. An intoxicated man carrying a hand drill was spotted on the bridge, flagging down a taxi. That's... I'm just gonna leave that be. He is not the dentist. Free the titty, protect the city. Yep. Bring it to the police station.
1312 in
Oh, police impersonation. Ain't that just grand? Cool. Hold on. No, yes! A young waitress. Oh, come on, man! A young waitress at the cafe noticed a man dressed in a police uniform who fit the description of the dentist. I don't think it was a gun in his holster. I think it was a drill.
1312.
So, yep. I'm not dealing with either of you two. I'm just simply not going to. I'm just simply going to let it happen.
1210 complete.
Yep, harmless drill salesman. Cool. How's Shift B looking? Shift B is looking fine. A, on the other hand, is in a world of trouble. Bikers donate blood at Central Hospital. Massive day-long power outage in City Center. Elementary school students stuck on Ferris wheel. Still 2 thumbs up from the city. That's good, at least. Too tired. Yes, Sanu. Where is all having more and tears? Yes, that's fine for us. No, not dirt cheap. We played that yesterday. Store-bought amnesty again. Let's do this. All right. Richard Van Dahl flunked all their exams and brought dishonor to the badge. Darn it, Van Dahl. Kennedy was able to brilliantly pass all their exams. They've earned a boost. Can hire one more detective. Thank goodness. All right. All right. Margaret. Welcome to... Hold on, who am I hiring for? Is it Shift A? Shift B this time. All right. All right, Margaret. Welcome to Shift B. And who am I getting for a police officer? I think Shift A needs it the most. Yes. Ryoka Murata. Welcome to Shift A. Yeah, all right. All right, let's see what goes on now. Harassment! Right in front of the store, oh my goodness sakes, a strange man came around the corner and accosted a young woman as she left the bakery. The owner of the bakery thinks it could be the dentist. You gotta understand, he's scared of my customers. That's not my concern. I don't care if he's not the dentist. He's not. It's that simple. Oh, that's great. Fight. Headmaster Rihanna Smith reports that 2 mothers were fighting right there in her office. She called them in to discuss the behavior of their children. It seems that Mrs. Klein's son often makes fun of the daughter of Miss Masters. The girl finally had enough abuse and stabbed the boy's hand with a pencil. Oh my goodness. That's raw. Jorgensen, deal with it. Disorderly conduct. A man with 3 pit bulls entered the business center. When local security warned him that the dogs weren't permitted, he started threatening to let the dogs off their leash if anyone gives them trouble. Song and Duck. McDuck. Just trying to lure... Oh, it's actually the owner of a new bakery. That's hilarious. Oh boy. Mr. Boyd, I am preparing a long article for the magazine Righteous Life, and the theme of my article is Cop Sodomites. According to my investigation, tragic deaths are striking 13 gay police couples across our country's great cities. A satanic pentagram is emerging from the map. Perhaps the devil is telling them that he cannot accept them. According to my predictions, the next death will happen right here in Freeburg. The problem is that I need to visit 6 more cities, so I don't have time to wait around for it to happen. In fact, I'll only be in the city for a couple days. I hope you can somehow, accelerate the process. I'll pay you generously, and don't worry if the dead cop turns out to be straight. Like my editor always says, dead men don't file lawsuits. I'm not doing that. Right, White, Bailey, go. How'd the fight go? Offender caught. Officer unharmed. Cool. Sorely oh my goodness. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Good. A massacre at St. John's Hospital and animal abuse at the farm. What's the animal abuse? Got enough to dentist program. Okay. No. That's the massacre, first and foremost, so no. Bill Buckler says some madmen came onto his farm with a hatchet and started attacking the cows and other animals. That sounds like a very real thing that's happening. Corn monument. Alright, I'll bite. Mr. Boyd, I want to shoot a scene featuring one of the finest landmarks of your city, the Corn Monument. This is a public place, so please send 4 officers to assist. They'll keep any curious children at a reasonable distance and rein in the men and any protesting hypocrites. Explain that everything is being done according to the law. There's one condition. The cops can't touch the actress. She's not just some kind of whore. That's fine. Bailey, White, McDuck. No, not McDuck. Jorgensen, Song. Go. Yeah, who would have known? It was a false alarm. Who would have guessed? Seeing the police, the intruder puts his hands up, but he's still holding the weapon. Knock up a knife out of his hands. Not that stupid. Assault with a deadly weapon. Oh, that's not good. Man called in from a phone booth saying that he's under attack by a sniper. I can't get out. He just shoots the asphalt in front of my feet when I open the door. I don't know what he wants from me, but when I first got here, there was a note glued to the phone book. It just says, "Don't move." Well, give me a second, and I'll get some people over there. Thanks, Chief. You never see pure gold like that on cable. I wonder what was going on there. Oh boy, hostage with a firearm. Hold on, let me get everyone back in their seats. Thank you. All right. A man from a phone, sniper. Yes. Just don't move. An Elvis impersonation competition has been organized for several well-known local artists by Lindy Bryant, who volunteered to evaluate the contestants. According to the owner of the bar, this sorry excuse for an Elvis fan shouted rudely at some of the participants, saying that they were nothing like the king. Then he saw the woman shout, "I knew you didn't die, take me away with you. We'll live happily ever after." The bouncer threw the woman out on the street, but she grabbed a knife from her bag and stabbed him in the throat. Then Miss Bryant grabbed one of the impersonators and pulled him into a utility room. Oh, goodness. All right. Song. McDuck. White. We'll have the SWAT. And we'll have Bailey just in case. You, the rest of you are going. These are close by, so hopefully these situations can be dealt with quickly. Please. I need this to be dealt with quickly. A man wearing a suit is crouched on the floor in the booth. The surrounding pavement is decorated with bullet holes. A crowd of onlookers has gathered on the other side of the street, watching what happens from a safe distance. Look at the windows and rooftops of the nearest houses. The sniper begins to bombard the phone booth with bullets. One of the onlookers says the shots are coming from the 8th floor. Shot came from. Thank goodness. Suspicious individual. Oh no. A bunch of Elvis impersonators have gathered around the door. Harry, get back. This is police. Let us through. Silent man is scared to death when one knife hits. Draw the knife and reach for the sky. Alright, come on now. Come on. An old man oh, come on. An old man dressed in rags is pacing around under the prison gate shouting, "I am the dentist. I killed all those women. Arrest me. I want to confess." Nope. I am not even going to deal with it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, was it a false report? Yeah. Yep, End the day, please. Okay, we got some people on A at least. Day 77. Fighter Air Show taking place outside city. Wooden Horse Toy Store donates toy trucks to orphanage. City Hall vows to solve water crisis. You've been saying that for years. Okay, go to work. Excuse me. Yes, you can go home, Baker. That's fine. Alright. Today we will be listening to String Quartet No. 1 by Alexander Bardin. Oh, that's good. That's the good stuff right there. My share. Thank you. Serial murder in the ghettos. 45-year-old Maria Camilla Solis, employee at City Hall, was found brutally murdered at her apartment. I love how it says send 2 officers when they want me to send detectives. Animal abuse. Some students are claiming that the dentist showed up during their biology class and life rises. Okay, cool. Cool. Public indecency. That sounds like a real crime. Actually, it's not, but still. We just received a call from a university lecturer who reports that a first-year student went to the board during a lecture, took down his pants, and defecated right in front of the entire class. Maybe it was some sort of hazing or a rite of passage. That's hilarious. Kennedy, you got your promotion recently. You take care of the students defecating all over the classroom. 3 new frames. Give them to the feds. Start to investigate. Oh yeah, we're still not done with this, are we? We'll wait for that. Good job, Kennedy. Students just want to cause trouble, made up the story. Yeah, that seems about right. Oh boy, alright. Really dope. It is, there we go. I was about to say, it is surprisingly quiet on crime. Hostage situation with a fatal casualty. Richard Lester, manager of Papa Carl's Pizzeria, reported that a deranged elderly man quarreled with an employee because the line was too long. Unsatisfied, he pulled out a gun and shot the employee in the stomach. The other customers fell into a panic and made a break for the door, but he fired several shots into the air and ordered everyone to finish their meals. Alright, we're gonna need some people for this. Goodness sakes alive. Sardius Jewelry Store. Mr. Boyd, I would like to offer you a great opportunity to make some real money. To send 2 policemen to the store who will pretend that they're trying to stop a robbery. Let me be clear, the robbers must leave the crime scene intact with the cash. Sure. Kennedy Stokes, do it. There's a clear view from the street. The suspect is sitting at a table in the corner, quietly eating his pizza. There's a gun next to him. There are about a dozen other people in the restaurant. Wait until this storm the pizzeria. Oh, two for one combo at Arby's, I see. Theft. Shannon Waldrop arranged a reception at his home for his rich... Shannon? Whatever, it's a guy's name too. For his rich friends, about 30 people. Toward the end of the evening, when the servants began to take away the dishes, they noticed that about 10 silver cutlery items were missing. No one has left the house yet, so the thief is still there. Vandal, Murata, Chovich, you all go. Oh my goodness, please. Dress camouflage, enter, carry large, they ate their meal, and took out some guns from their bags. Oh, that's an actual problem. Retiree Martha Mier called to complain about her neighbor, Roberto Morales. I haven't seen his wife, and last night I saw him burying something in the backyard. Today I asked him where his wife was, and he mumbled something about a business trip. I'm afraid he's done something to her. All the time I hear them arguing and cursing each other. SWAT unit, you three are gonna go. I can't handle the suspicious individual. Boss, we felt like useless clowns out there in front of eyewitnesses too. From now on, you can do your dirty work without us. Thank you for the 25K. I'm not going to be able to get this in time. Maybe. Hold on. No! So close. All right, you two get over there. Elizabeth. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness that was a false report. Miss Morales really is on a business trip, and Roberto was simply gardening and tending his roses. Guests are eating desserts and talking about politics. Let's carry the person to a separate room. One man, outraged by the situation, jumps up and yells that he's too honorable and important to participate in such a circus. Search him. Taking the advantage, one of the guests stands him quietly. Tackle him before he can escape. Oh my goodness sakes. Rape. Awesome. Miranza Palak says she heard noises, then screams coming from a neighboring apartment. She couldn't make out most of the words, but the man said, "I'll find it, then I'll shut your mouth for good, you whore." Miss Palak added that the man who lives in that apartment is always in trouble with the law, and she's repeatedly seen him carrying a gun. Please get here soon, guys. How'd the homicide? Nothing new? Okay. Oh my goodness. How'd the massacre go? Offender caught, officers unharmed, civilians. And we found automatic weapons. We're gonna let the mafia sell them. Please get here soon, please get here soon, please get here soon, please get here soon, please get here soon. I'm gonna have to just send in you guys and hope that it'll ask me to get stuff later. Please. Please be kind. Please be gracious. Inside the apartment, there's a naked girl lying on the couch in tears. Standing next to her is a man with a gun. He takes aim at the police. Shoot the suspect. Good job, guys. End the day. How's Shift B looking? Shift B is the dream team. Shift A seems to be cursed. How are you guys doing? Still 3 thumbs up everywhere, huh? Dentist victims growing older. Brutally murdered Maria Camilla Solis was long-standing employee of City Hall. 45-year-old City Hall worker strangled by maniac. Alright. Drank too much. I don't think I can hold it. Yes, but come tomorrow. Today, some of my relatives have come to visit. They're from another country, and we've never even met. You can have this one. No. They're feeling better now, then they'll be fine when you get back. We'll give it to Jorgensen. Jorgensen's been doing pretty good as of late. Careless Love by Original Salty Dogs. Jack, we're arranging plans for a funeral today. Everything has to go quietly and respectfully. 3 of your guys should be enough. Okay. Floors, Song, Jorgensen. Alright. Surprisingly, everything's quiet right now. Thankfully. There we go. Public indecency at the beach. Let's go. Viola Corley called the police when she saw a naked young woman sunbathing at the beach. I came here with my grandchildren, and here's this woman with her legs spread apart. It's just shameless. I want this dealt with immediately. Let her do her thing, man. Let her do her thing. Attempted murder. Lovely. The owner of a oh my goodness. Good, at least it's a false report. The owner of a gallery phoned in a complaint about a repairman who helped install her exhibition. I made a casual remark to him, and he looked at me like he was a serial killer. I'm afraid it's the dentist. I'm next on his list. No, you're not, you idiot. That's what happened to me, honey. Assault! Okay, finally, a real crime. A guest came into the hospital to check on a man named Christopher Rhodes, but he wasn't allowed in because visiting hours are over. This man became unruly and hit the nurse. Sanu? McDuck, go. Surprise, surprise, the repairman didn't threaten anyone. Assault. Stockbroker Jerome Fenagana was sitting in his office when he was attacked by an unhappy client. Jerome managed to escape and lock himself in a closet. Meanwhile, his attacker is trying to break down the door. Song Bailey. Do it. Suspicious. Is it another dentist? Yeah, sure is. The man with a lacerated hand walked into the emergency room. He says he hurt his hand while he was drilling something at home. But I don't believe him. From the side, he looks just like the dentist. No one knows who the dentist looks like. A group of environmentalists have gathered at a First store and begun throwing stones through the windows at the city center. All right. Williams, Jorgensen, Percy, Revick. Do it. The suspect is under arrest, but the whole time he's resisting and demanding he be allowed to visit the patient. That's my brother. He won't survive to the end of the week. Just let me see him. Let him visit the room, but keep him under arrest. How'd the assault go? Nice. Property of destruction of property, not property of destruction. Customers and employees are running out of the store. The security guard is trying to reason with the protesters. One of the activists throws a Molotov cocktail through a broken window. Some coats instantly catch on fire. Call the fire department and attack the activists. They deserve it. Mass riot. You're gonna have to hold on until everybody gets back here. Yeah, the man really did hurt his... didn't look identical either in profile or in front form. Yeah, that checks out. Okay, welcome back. All right. Pop star Alana Morris can't get to the concert because her bus is surrounded by excited fans. The singer's manager is afraid that the fans will tear her to pieces. You've got to come over here and sort this out. This is more than our security can handle. Flores, Song, Sanu, Jorgensen, and Williams. We'll also take the paddy wagon. Oh my goodness. How'd the mass riot go? Hey, we got it. Way to go, team. And Flores is at 700 now. Oh my goodness. All right. Anything else? Is nothing else going to happen? All right, end the day. End the day. End it. Hold on. Pop. All right, end the day. Yeah, I think we'll be fine for now. Rubinovich, casino owner, we keep the nut jobs out. Drug addiction in city increased by 38%. Moonlight Soccer Stadium hosts concert in honor of City Day. Good, everyone's going just fine. Everything's going just fine. I have room. Oh, I think I forgot to feed my fish back at the house. No. I was up. No. I have enough time for probably 1 or 2 more days, or 1 or 2 more shifts. Oh. Old Merkbow Reach by Bob Barnard and Friends. Thank you. Assault! Let's go! Roberta Lynn was crying hysterically as she oh my goodness. As she reported that a neighbor had spent the last few days constantly using a power drill. Beside himself over the constant noise, her husband Derek went to investigate. He and the neighbor quickly fell to blows. And Miss Lynn's husband received a stomach injury from the man's power drill. Derek Lynn was able to return home and lock the door, but their neighbor is currently breaking into their house and screaming like a lunatic. Oh, this is not related to the dentist. Oh, thank goodness. All right. But the neighbor is currently screaming like a lunatic. The frightened woman cried and pleaded into the headset. There were rumors that the man spent some time in the nut house, and I'm afraid the rumors are true. Vandal, Forney, Baker, and Chovich. Go. Oh, come on, really? Alright, fine. Stokes and Kennedy, go. Lovely. Right as you do this to me. Alright, oh, at least it's just 2. Destruction of property. A woman witnessed students running into telephone booths and tearing out the receivers. I think they're competing to see who can steal more of them. They put the receivers in bags and run away. Alright, Cintrin and Murata. I can't. Jack, port security pulled our truck over and doesn't want to deal. We don't want any extra noise, so send your guys over to sort out the... I can't. I don't have the people you want. I'm kind of busy. Destruction of property. Darn it, they escaped. The assault, how'd it go? Under cots. Officers unharmed, no one died. Good. Oh boy, a fight at the beach. Lovely, and I only have 1 on standby. Hold on. 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 Okay. The family walked out to the beach and noticed that a few surfers were gathered near the water, aggressively arguing with each other. It looks like they're about to fight. Cintrin, and Tanashi, Murata. And let's take the paddy wagon for good measure. Ah, goodness. Firefight! Lovely. Numerous witnesses report that 2 big black SUVs are facing off in the center of the city. Armed men exited the vehicles and started firing at each other. Yeah, that calls for everyone to be there. I can't! Please tell me it's the dentist. We're gonna go quick, we're afraid he'll go after. Bruh, I literally cannot right now. The police are having difficulty crossing the sand, and the surfers are already thrashing each other's boards. Try to grab the surfers. The surfers are covered in butter. They slip through the policemen's hands and escape into the water with their boards. We're gonna shoot in the air. We ain't playing those games here. I literally can't refuse. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Good. Got automatic weapons. Let the mafia sell them.
1210 complete.
Oh my goodness sakes! Really? The clothing store next door had left an old mannequin in the doorway. I'm going to lose it. Oh, a shooting! That's great. Hold on. Wait for everyone to get back. Shots rang out at a school dance in the gym, and one of the teachers fell to the floor with a hole in his stomach. Panic descended as the crowd rushed the exits. Nobody knows who fired the shot or what's going on, said one of the hysterical schoolgirls who witnessed the shooting. Everyone, including you two. It was a single shot, so we're not gonna get the SWAT involved. And probably it's only one gunman. Homicide. Kenya Anderson was the one who called it in. There was an older man smoking out on the street, and 2 young men walked up and asked for a cigarette. The man said he didn't smoke, and a fight broke out. The old man managed to fend off his attackers until one of them pulled a knife and stuck the man in his chest. Perp disappeared behind the nearby green door. A red-headed hot dog seller tried to help him, but it was too late. Well... I can't. You're going in. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Thank goodness. Detective died during... Oh, come on, Kuzma, no! A few onlookers are gathered around the crime scene. A red-headed man in white clothes is bent over the body and is doing something with it. You see the attackers. The young woman runs and says that the attackers already fled one of them. She knew it was her neighbor in apartment 207. Climb up to the fire escape. Oh, goody, goody. All the walls on the second floor are painted with strange symbols. The decorations are covered around apartment 205. 207. Come on, I believe. End the day. Declare him dead. Darn it. Shift A is cursed. Shift A is completely and utterly cursed. Beatbusters Dance Studio organizes performance near Corn Monument. Analyst, most contraband passes through Dockyard. Beauty contestant breaks leg. All right. Oh, I should have those new things now, shouldn't I? Some of my friends of mine asked me to help out. No. Yeah, we got a bunch of new songs now. Take a Walk by Walter Flores. Or Flores. Yeah, probably do one more shift. Labor union. Please be informed that your employees have filed a formal complaint against you. We are gathering information and familiarizing ourselves with the circumstances of the case. Why? What do I want? No. What do I want? I have 19. I mean, I could go for. Right, Thomas Sellers. Welcome to Shift A, probably. Yeah, Shift A. Welcome to Shift A, the cursed shift. I want more police. I want more police. Then probably next one will be a salary increase or something to do with the SWAT. Suicide threat. A middle school student locked herself in the chemistry teacher's office and is loudly threatening to mix herself a lethal cocktail and drink it. Is she talking about alcohol or an actual lethal cocktail? The teachers are afraid to break down the door and report that the girl has shown unstable behavior in the past. Okay. According to one of the girl's classmates, I think someone broke her heart, but I don't know the details. Song and Sanu. The tag team. Suicide threat. How'd that go, gentlemen? Fender caught. Officers are unharmed. Good. No civilian casualties. Love to see it. Theft at the mall. Okay, fraud too. A cashier started flirting with a customer, asking her to show him her ID or he wouldn't sell a bottle of wine. He then called the police, insisting that it must be fake. She just couldn't be 35 years old. I'll give her 29. You're a moron. All right. Revick and McDuck, go. A saleswoman at a clothing store called to report a theft. A girl exited the dressing room wearing 4 t-shirts and made quickly for the exit. The scanner at the store entrance sounded its alarm, but the thief managed to slip through and ran into the street. Flores and Jorgensen. Actually, no. Percy, you go. Mafia assignment. Jack, we have something going down today. Oh, we're going back to this nonsense, are we? St. John's Hospital at 1800. We wouldn't want any policemen crashing the party. I think 500 should be enough. Okay. 1800 St. John's Hospital. Okay. We're going back to this old song and dance, I see. How'd the fraud go? Yeah, I figured that was the case. And the theft. Nice job, team. Armed robbery. 3 armed men attempted to rob a pawn shop, but the security system was too much for them. The doors all locked, and the assailants are trapped inside. They're threatening to kill the owner unless they're immediately released. Everyone's going. And then the Sansa's thing is going to be happening soon, so I'll deal with. So I'll lead them to it. Yep, I'm gonna just let him. I'm gonna let it rock. That, however, I cannot let rock. Van approached the bank as it was closing. 3 masked men jumped out and quickly opened the door and disappeared inside. Witness Betty Davis immediately called the police. She thought the criminals might be armed, but she wasn't sure. Flores, Percy, Revick, McDuck, and the SWAT just in case. How'd the armed robbery go? Yay. Way to go, gentlemen. And Bailey and White. Republican decency, my favorite.
911.
5 hundo. Fender escaped? How? Oh, no, that was for St. John. Duh.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Softball.
Can't do that.
910B.
How'd the robbery go, gentlemen? Fender caught officers and Percy. There's a couple of elderly men sitting on a bench in the park playing strip poker. 5 people already called in to file a complaint. I've never seen anything more disgusting in my life, said one Kathleen Bethune. I can show you a lot more disgusting things, believe me. But fine. Play strip poker in your own homes, darn you. Or play strip poker in a casino, for all I care. Just don't do it in a park. There it is. One man victoriously jumps to his feet, throws his cards down on the bench, turns his bare ass towards the playground, and shouts, "Ha, I won." Throw a coat over him and arrest him.
214 complete.
Alright, we gonna be chill? We gonna be Kino? Okay, so far so good. Okay, cool. Oh, cutscene. Then we probably will end it off here if it's a cutscene moment.
Boyd.
I don't have much time, so listen close. We got him, Jack. The dentist is in our custody.
Wow. Congratulations, Ethan.
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure if it's our guy. But she's definitely the one who committed the murders in Freeburg. And it's a young woman.
Wait a second, did you?
A very large, very strong woman.
Goodness.
What? Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jack. I gotta go. We've got a briefing. But, something's not right, Jack. Someone's leading us around by the nose.
Yeah, you don't say. Like, give me all the evidence and I can figure it out for you.
I've almost forgotten the feeling. The feeling you get when you stay on the sidelines during a major bust. But I don't think I'll be out of the game for long.
Yeah,
Palmer had nothing to do with this. The dentist, whoever he is, was a gift box meant for me. It just got delivered to the wrong address. And I've got a hunch who packed the box.
Alright, street racer stage accident in city center. Segregationist teacher promoted to dean. Dressed in blood film banned. A dressed in blood film banned in local theaters for excessive cruelty. Okay, cool. Alright, we're gonna call it there. We got a cutscene. We're gonna call it there. Yes. Alright. Ending a little shorter than usual, but only by like 20 minutes. Alright. So, who are we going to raid today? It's a great question. Thank you for spending time with us today. Yeah, no problem. Who am I gonna raid? Why Grins playing Evil. Oh, I want to see what Evil Dead the game looks like. Admiral Nagi is doing some Apex Legion. But we're gonna raid Kawaii Grin because I want to see what Evil Dead's all about. I love the Evil Dead series. Kawaii Grin. Kawaii Grin. All right, so we're gonna be raiding Kawaii Grin, who is currently playing that new Evil Dead game that I'm super interested in, but I am cautiously optimistic about it. I've never seen anything about it except for things in the beta, so hopefully it goes well. But thank you very much, everyone, for coming and joining in on the fun and the chaos that the city had to offer. We will continue to do more crime investigation stuff on This Is the Police tomorrow. So be sure you're here for that if you are interested in seeing what happens with the dentist case. But once again, thank you very much, everyone, for coming in, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.